Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Kyle. Welcome back to not Adventures in Middle Earth. Oh my gosh, we're here with Everlast. And yeah, it's been a while to be able to do this with you guys, but I'm very, very happy to be joined with the entire crew here today as we dive into a little bit of Adventures in Middle Earth. Not Adventures in Middle Earth. My gosh, that's gonna be it. Great start, Kyle. Great start. No, as we dive into Everlast. But let's go ahead and have the party all introduce themselves before we go into some, kind of recap of what's happened 3 weeks ago. But let's go ahead and start with Zill.
Hello, I'm Zil. Well, I'm Max. I play Zil. The socially inept orphan from Helix with a big axe, can take a hit like a boss, and a pet mouse named Waffle.
That's all you
Sounds
need
like
to know.
an epic character. I like it.
That is all you need to know, and that is how we're going to go ahead and begin the session. So, no. Oh wait, sorry, Luxalia, go. Your turn.
Hello, I'm Cole, and I play Luxalia of the Silverwood. And yeah, resident healer, pretty much the best character on this team. Just kidding, we're all great. And yeah, from the Silverwood, Glyden has the ears and such,
And the tails.
and the tails. So all the things.
It's a party. And next we have our next character is Belbin.
Yes. Hi guys, I'm Connor. I play Belbin. I am the brother to Luxalia. Just kidding. It's not how it works.
Luxalia's dismay.
Yeah. Luxalia would really hate Belbin.
Luxalia's foil.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, Belbin, you guys know him. Probably don't love him, but
I love that.
neither does Yuki does not though.
Oh, Yuki doesn't. Well, Yuki does, but I love Belbin as a character.
Tough love, but yeah, he's a rough guy to get along with sometimes.
And then next we have Thordane. So Thordane is a wood elf from the Woodland Realm in Everlast, and he is journeying with the party, and he is a very strong advocate for tracking in science, and he is played by Dane. So you'll see him controlled there.
I'm glad you didn't forget the science. 'Cause
Nope.
That's the most important. He little by little has become the man of science. He never started that way, but that's the direction he's taken in the last few months. So for science, and we'll continue to go with it.
Perfect. And then finally we have Yuki.
Hello everyone, I'm Dane or Forged. I hope you're all doing well tonight or today, whatever time it is for y'all. And I play the character Mistletoe Yuki. So she is a draken, a silver draken from the far north city of Flamunglith, and she is a blade dancing bard. So she's a DPS bard. She's pretty cool, and today she may be a little sleepy, is all I have to say about that. But you know what? She's gonna do her best. She's gonna do her best.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I am Kyle. I am the Fate Weaver here for this game and the creator of the game Everlast. And so before we do anything, let's go ahead and jump into some beautiful copyright shenanigans, the things that everyone loves to talk about. So Fantasy Forge Studios and Kyle LaFonte, myself, own all copyrights in text, image, video, audio, graphics, story, gameplay mechanics, and all intellectual properties involved in the creation of Everlast. Don't take it. But you can use it for your own, homebrew stuff. Like, enjoy this world. That's what we want you to do. And as this game is in the process of being created and steps are being made in order to do that, hopefully we can inspire you in your own tabletop role-playing ability to be able to, enjoy this game as hopefully we all enjoy it as well. So, yes, great. Any last things? Oh, by the way, this our official stream, we are creeping up onto almost a year of streaming this, believe it or not. I believe in May is going to be our 1-year anniversary of Everlast, at least as far as the streamed content goes. And so, yeah, it's crazy. It's amazing the journey it's been. And then there were also 2 years tacked on to the or the front end of that as a D&D campaign. So it's crazy to think that we're already moving so quickly through all of this. Episode 22. So yeah, kind of nuts. And a lot of new mechanics and everything going into it. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump into a little bit of recap since it has been a little bit since we've played. So Eclaas, Eeas, they are a group of adventurers who have made their way from the Great Peninsula basically onto the waters in the central inland strait giant ocean of Everlast. On the ship, the Flortentia, captained by Gunter Klaus. They made their way to an island where they found a bunch of cultists that were doing crazy shenanigans to a crystal, the Earth Crystal, to which they defeated and won a key off of the evil lady that was there. And then they made their way finally for some vacation to a town called Decay Town on Aishan Island. And during this time, they were basically thrown into, recruited as part of the town watch during the celebration of Solstice, which is a giant celebration that happens every year at Decay Town with a giant fireworks festival to celebrate the beginning of the summer season. And there are, with all of the visitors and travelers from all over Everlast there, a bunch of things were happening. Most importantly, people were being taken from the village. And so Eclaas, Eeas, using their powers as adventure heroes, search the town, figuring out what's going on, what's happening, searching for Deadeye people and searching for, where maybe some of these lost people were. And one of these thieves showed themselves at one point during the climax of this festival. And so Eclaas, Eeas chased this rascal into the bushes, into the jungles of Aishan Island, to which they pursued them to a bandit camp, to which Eclaas, Eeas did an amazing job, almost too easily, dispatched the vast majority of them. And while Zil and Thordane held down the camp and the surviving remaining bandits there, Luxalia, Belbin, and Yuki dove into the jungle after the leader who was searching for treasure from a map that he had stolen from the lady at Decay Town. To which they found that this man by the name of Duluth was trapped by a jungle troll in Trollarder. And so they saved him and brought him back to the camp and made a deal with this man. First, they found out that not only the bandit, they weren't working by themselves, they were working for a mysterious sorcerer that was in the, that's taken place in the island, specifically in an abandoned keep in the middle of the jungle. And with basically gaining their trust, Eclaas, Eeas was able to create this plan with the bandits to rally the troops inside and overthrow by taking care of all of the minions that this evil sorcerer Eeas had. And so one thing led to another. They made their way to this place, rescued a gold draken by the name of Krothos from the dungeons, and took care of all of the minions that were inside this jungle keep. And Duluth inspiring the rest of the bandits to rise up against these minions, cleared a way for Eclaas, Eeas to be able to go to the top room of this tower where Eeas was performing a ritual. All of the missing peoples that were reportedly missing were being used as sacrifices to open a portal to some strange, mysterious place, and bad things were happening. And so Eclaas, Eeas had dispatched of all of the evil cultists that were there, and most importantly, Eeas. And upon almost nearly getting sucked into the portal, they were able to close it and take all of the bandits and Krothos as well back to Decay Town, to where they put them on trial for their misdeeds. Fortunately, apparently, Eclaas, Eeas is really good when it comes to courthouse cases, because they were able to get these bandits off mostly scot-free from their crimes, with the only exception of having to work off their crimes on the Flortentia, to which they basically refunded the money that potentially was lost during the tourism during that time. And so during that moment, Eclaas, Eeas spent a little bit of time in Decay Town, finally getting their vacation that they deserved. But Malaziark, who was one of the leaders of Decay Town, decided, well, something's wrong here. There was a dragon that left, a giant dragon that left out of the volcano named Smoldran. Hey, Yuki and Zil, you should go check that out. And so the two of them got on a boat and made their way all the way back to Terabay Island, where they defeated all the shenanigans at the Earth Crystal, and found out that this dragon Smoldran was looking for something of great power that was down low beneath inside the shrine, which he was too big to be able to get. And so Yuki and Zil went down there, fought off some goblins, or the remaining goblins that were there, and found out that the order that was supposed to be protecting the island, the Order of Amandalius, had all been slain. And they grabbed this rope, this very mysterious, horribly powered rope, and brought it back up to Smoldran, who described to them that it had the power to enslave beings, especially dragons. And so, trading them a celestial bowstring from his treasure hoard in return for that rope, they went their separate ways. Making their way back to the island, the volcano started erupting, and with that, Krothos decided to take Eclaas to Flomberge, which is the main Draken city that sits on top of a historical city of Ashalinthil, to talk to Nalgoric Cragheim, who is the king of the Drakens, trying to figure out everything that's going on with why is this volcano erupting, what's going on with these different pillars, like what's happening. And so, as welcomed guests, because of the fact that they were able to save Krothos from the Jungle Keep, they spent a little bit of time in Flomberge, not only helping them figure out what's going on with the Flame Pillar and the volcano, but defending their city from an onslaught of pirates who came and attempted to overthrow the city in their power by a captain named the Bloody Bosun, to which they dispatched and were able to protect the city. And Belbin, taking his head, took them into the city and told everything that was going on, that more would be coming at some point. But in the meantime, as Eeas waited for a escort of all kinds of sailors to come pick up the ships from the North Shore to sail it back to Takai Town, they did all kinds of things for the town, and one of the most important things was the fact that Zil learned to craft Draken weapons, which is really cool. It's a special... The Gold Draken are one of the more specialized blacksmiths in the entire continent of Everlast. So Zil was able to learn a lot from them and gain really cool ability to potentially craft Draken weapons during his holiday phases. And
upgrades.
yeah, exactly. And so with that and all kinds of fun things happening, the escort from Takai Town came, which was led by Gunter and his Flortensia crew, and they were able to take the ships all the way back to Takai Town, but in the process teaching Eeas, because they were gifted one of these ships, to which, do we have a name for this ship?
Oh, yes. Well, technically, it's a tie between two names. So, we can choose right now, I guess, before the stream starts, between the two of them.
First and foremost, let me finish some recap. They learned how to fight, they learned how to sail, and most importantly, they're taking them back to Takai Town to gain the ability to hire a crew for the ship in order to sail up north through the inland strait to either Folden Rock or to the elven city of Feshen Fey, to where they are in the task by Nalgoric Cragheim, assemble the council of the holders of the keys to figure out what is going on with the pillars and what to do next as far as everything is going. So yes, let's go ahead and figure out what's happening with these. Yes, Zil.
There's only one appropriate way to decide between these two.
All right, I have to hear what these names are and if I deem them appropriate. I have the power as Fate Weaver.
They actually both were appropriate. It's funny because there were a few other. I will roll a d16. That is a 6.
Let me roll a
Supposed to be how we
d16.
decided.
What was it? Oh, there you go. So it was actually down to 4 names, but only 2 of them got votes from. So I don't remember what one of the names was, honestly, off the top of my head. But the 3 that I do remember was Windrider and Alomnia's Breath were the 2 that were tied. The other one was D's Knots. Not like D's Nuts, but with like knots, like you're sailing on an ocean. But that one I know. uh, which is crazy because actually in like the prelims of it, it had by far had the most votes, but no one voted for it during the final. So I don't know, it's a little weird. But yes, Alomnia's Breath and Wind Rider were the two options. So.
All right, I think we should leave this up. I know the dice roll is one thing, but I think we should leave this up between Eclaas, the four of you. Thordane doesn't get a vote. I will vote for Thordane if there is a tiebreaker that needs, but I'm gonna leave it up to you. So let's just say you're at the point where you finished your battle on board one of the ships. I believe it was the Bloody Bosun ship and your ship, and you were figuring out how combat works and defeating Gunter's crew. You decided, hey, this is great. We can do this. But our ship needs a name, and these are the two, the Wind Rider or Alomnia's Breath. What sounds most appropriate? And hence, it's thrown to Belbin, Luxalia, Zil, Yuki, and Thordane to figure out what that name will be.
I mean, I think this ship itself, I mean, it's small, but man, is it fast. I mean, Wind Rider or Alumnia's Breath, I think, could both work quite well. What do you all think?
They both sound good.
Wind Rider sounds epic.
Should we smash them together and do Alomnia's Rider? Or
No. I like Alomnia's Breath.
Looks like I could.
Just like Alomnia.
That's what I was gonna say. I knew you were gonna pick that one. Ah, it's so hard. What do you think, Belbin? Belbin.
Smash them together.
yeah, I'll go for the smash. No, I think I'm good with. They're both good. They're both good names. My vote, I think, would be Alomnia's Breath. I think I'm a little bit more drawn to that one for some reason.
Well, it's probably
Opposites
because
attract.
That's a rarity that you and Luxalia agree. However, I think it's a nice ring to it. Wind Rider's nice, but Wind Rider kind of sounds like it could be just some generic dinghy out there on the ocean, you know? Like, it doesn't have impact to it, in my opinion. And as someone who enjoys a lot of impact with my donkey kicks, I like Alomnia's Breath personally. But that is if everyone else does. What do you think, Thordane?
I need to think of what the most scientific name would be for this. Wind Rider makes a lot of sense, as that is how a boat functions. So my vote is Wind Rider.
Yeah.
But alas, that doesn't matter, because clearly we have a majority vote.
Dang it.
But you know what, Zil? It kind of means the same thing if you think about it. Alomnia is the one who creates the wind, and it's his breath blowing it. And technically, the boat is riding on it. So we could either be the wind, or we could ride on the wind. And I think being the wind is a little less suspicious.
Wisdom would be like, religious stuff, right?
So you have actually your knowledge and wisdom skills. That's under mind. So if you just want to roll wisdom, you could do that. If you want to do a faith check, I would just have you roll probably for that piety.
I forgot there was faith.
Yeah.
Or piety, duh. That might work.
Are you pious, Zil?
This just all went way over his head. I rolled at 2. I don't think it matters what my modifier is.
Maybe Zil, it's okay. Maybe Luxalia can help you understand why we think it is what it is. And you know what, Thordane? Stop being such a man of science. It's not very eloquent, I think.
I've never heard of a thing more eloquent than science. There's a rhyme and a reason to everything. Maybe Alomnia has a little bit to do with that. I don't see how both of them are exclusive from each other. I have a lot to ponder on, a lot to think.
By the way, quick question for the Fate Weaver.
Yes.
Are we back at like current totals for HP and whatnot?
Yeah, like none of that. Like it was like because it was like a proxy battle kind of. Whatever HP you lost, just go ahead and recover it.
Yeah.
It's not real.
Yuki was rough at the end of that last
Yeah.
battle, so.
Yeah, like stamina, everything. Just feel free to recover that. I mean, granted, you were going up against the crew of the Flortensia, so
True. Freaking Gunter destroyed everyone.
yeah,
Like, at the end of that battle, that was ridiculous.
he does things like that.
Thinking on everyone.
He does things like that. And as he's getting everything like together as far as like his bandage, checking his crew to make sure everyone's okay, like you can actually see that the general vibe of everybody that's on this crew is very like, oh, you guys did an awesome job, as like they also fought with you as you were fighting on your ship. And so you all together kind of rejoice and have a great time. This is a beautiful day. This is like the height of summer, like the perfect time to be able to be on the waves. And as you are all congratulating each other, enjoying the merriment, you start to come into view of the port of Decay Town. And at this point, Gunter addresses each and every one of you. So, what are your plans going forward with your ship? This is an amazing thing, being able to not only donate these ships to the cause of Decay Town and the fleet that we have going on there, but Eclaas, Eeas, what are your plans? You've had vacation. You've had some time to rest. Well, maybe not as much time as we've had, of course. But what does King Nalgoric have of you to do?
Oh yes, our mission, right? I forgot about our mission. It's been so long since we talked about it. Well, I mean, King Nalgoric sent us on a mission. We are technically now the holders of the Earth Pillar, right?
The Earth Key.
Pillar. Of the Earth Key, meaning we need to gather all of the key holders in the region together to make decisions about what's going on with the Flame Pillar. Crazy stuff. It kind of goes right over my head, to be quite honest.
Well, it must have a lot to do with the explanation of why that volcano blew its top. In all my years being here on the seas, I've never seen something quite like that. It looks like the sky is still trying to clear up from all the ash.
You know, I mean, I think Ash had his adventure at one point, and you know what? Now it's time for someone else, I think.
Yes, to different regions it goes.
Rest in peace, Ash. Well, so yeah, that's the thing. Actually, I think our boat itself is going to serve us quite well. However, we need a crew in order to use this, right? Is that correct?
Ah, correct indeed. And a crew you shall find. Decay Town, believe it or not, is one of the busiest ports as far as sailors looking for hire in all of the Everlast oceans. And so I don't think you will have a problem finding people to join. However, well, some of the more experienced ones prefer experienced captains to be able to follow under. But that being said, you are legendary heroes of this region. You've done quite a bit for the town, so why not have them join you?
Do you think we could, like, train some powerful monsters of sorts?
Monsters?
And have them be our crew?
Monsters? What were you thinking, Lady Luxalia?
Oh, I don't know, like a lizard that breathes fire, or like
A dragon.
yeah, or like a cat that like is like a magician and throws flowers and stuff. That'd be cool.
I believe some of that ash has gone to your head, I believe, Luxalia. It happens. I was there for less than a few hours, and my lungs are far for the worse from being up there in that city.
Yeah, you know that ash, sometimes you catch it.
In your
It
lungs.
happens. In your lungs. You gotta catch them all the ashes.
Well, yeah, I guess that is That's very true.
Yes.
Maybe Professor Palm has something to do with that. I don't know.
I think you're right.
Maybe.
Right.
Anyway.
If you would like to be pointed in a direction as far as maybe where you could find some of this crew, I suggest the Savvy Seas Tavern. It's actually right off the port. It's quite convenient, actually, as you don't have to walk your way all the way up into the city of Takai Town in order to find your crew. I mean, I guess there's really no time frame that you have, unless your mission is important, but finding a crew and on your boat, what did you decide? Alomnia's Breath?
Yeah.
Ah, that has a
Don't
good
you
ring
see
to
it
it.
painted on the side right there?
Good job, Belbin. Yuki holds up her thumb to Belbin as he's still,
Painting.
Yes. All natural substance.
crimson, right?
Crimson. I was thinking brown.
Oh. Oh. Well,
Yes.
it might as well be called just Alomnia's farts. I don't know.
Excrement.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe Alomnia hasn't brushed his teeth in a while.
No, it's Alomnia's wind. It's a different kind of wind.
Good stuff. 1 minute, really quick. Gunter, what did you say the tavern's name was again? Sorry.
Ah, the Savvy Seas. Yes. There are quite a few people there that might be willing to help. I do think that you should talk to their curator, Willie Krillin. He is a rather interesting, very good man. He's been there in the curator for quite some time, and if, you maybe give him the right amount of coin, he might be able to even allow you to set up a booth to where you're more professional looking for perhaps attracting better sailors. But him and I go way back. Of course, I don't have to do such things, but then again, I already have my crew. If you do need any help and any recommendations, I'm always here for you as well, especially if you're trying to decipher if someone is really good for your crew or not as far as a fit. But I do find that, well, each crew member tends to function differently, and each captain tends to, have different responsibilities and a different objectives for the crew to be able to become skilled at. Where mine is a focus on more combat. If you're focusing more on sailing and getting from one place to another much quicker, as I can see with your boat here, that might require a different kind of crew. But clearly, you won't need nearly as many as the Flortensia has. So, good luck with that. But if you need any advice, I'm always here for that as well.
I mean, I guess that is true. However, I feel like a crew's gonna cost quite a pretty penny. How are we gonna afford such a thing?
It depends. Sometimes a crew, if they're inspired enough, will work for a wage that they will get at the end of their journey. And who knows, there just happens to be a way that I find that by the end of a journey, you tend to have collected quite a few coin to be able to pay such people. What are they going to do with coin on their boats, of course, right?
This is a good point.
Yeah, we could also threaten them once they're on board.
Ah. Like
A way
prisoners.
to inspire them.
Oh, are you sure we want to threaten them?
Just an
They're here
idea.
to
If
help
you guys
us,
are
right?
posing a problem, I'm just trying to come up with a solution.
Well, I mean, that is one way to put it. But at the same time, I don't think a crew that is full of fear is the best crew to have.
I find a crew that has full stomachs is always a happy crew.
Oh yes, that's true.
Now we're talking.
Yes.
At least it's better than being full of something else.
Yeah, Belbin.
Full of brown wind or ash.
Oh, I was just thinking hot air.
Ah, that too.
Okay, we were in a.
Flamberge is full of that.
Yeah, speaking of which, Yuki is like sweating profusely still. She's not used to the heat. And are we far enough away though that it doesn't feel nearly as hot?
I mean, you're out on the waves now, and so you feel sea breeze. And this feels all of you feel cold. based off of like how you've been in for like the past like week or so in Flomberge. This feels like way like almost like it's snowing, even though it's just like very cozy weather.
Finally.
Yeah, it's nice. You're just
It was
like
so hot.
Titanic moments as just like the sea breezes splash over you. It's amazing.
I'm used to that kind of stuff, but this is a nice change.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I think that works. So I guess once we dock, maybe we'll head that way to the Savvy Seas Tavern and meet with Willie Krillin. I will tell you, I feel like Krillin, with a name like Krillin, he has some martial prowess himself. Maybe he would be willing
He's
to join us
chilling like a Krillin.
too.
We can certainly
Maybe he can fly. Maybe he has some crazy powers. I'm just saying.
we could give him a
I don't understand the reference.
exam.
You know, maybe his hair will change into a gold color if he is.
Yuki's digging him. I hope he's an old man and old and crusty and nasty and.
Yes.
Okay, don't tell me I'm not the only one who understands that reference.
Yes.
Otherwise-
Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Ah!
It's a character named Krillin in Dragon Ball. Sorry.
It's okay.
It's
okay.
Guys, I am on something like another level tonight as far as my tiredness goes. I apologize. You might see crazy Yuki tonight.
It's okay, Yuki. Get some rest.
Oh, I will do my best. Thanks, Luxalia.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
As you guys continue to sail, Salic actually approaches you. He was not involved in the battle, remember, as he was actually on the Flortensia watching everything go. And the way that like everything is sailing is you have like these 3 ships. I guess he wasn't on the Flortensia, but on the other ship. You have these 3 ships that are kind of sailing relatively close to one another. But Salic was able to make his way over as you guys kind of did stop a little bit for him to be able to dock on. And he does come over and he says, "Wow, you never cease to surprise me, the group of you. Just every single time I see you, not only did you defeat a sorcerer, not only did you defeat the rest of the bandits at our camp, but you were able to defeat Gunter in combat. What is going on? What are you? Some kind of heroes or something?" He just like looks like super impressed at like all of you.
Do you see this cape?
Yes.
You know where this came from?
A bird?
Crow, perhaps.
Was it a plane?
It was
It's
demon.
Superman.
Oh, I thought it was Krillin.
It came from a demon. That we
Ah.
killed.
Yes, and I, for one, at first wasn't so much a believer in all of that until, well, I saw what happened and what the sorcerer Eeas was about and
Amos.
things he was able to do.
Demon.
Yes, I would be very, very happy to call each and one of you allies, and hopefully we can sail together at some point soon.
Well, why don't you join us on this adventure? Are you available for hire, my good friend?
He looks at Gunter, and Gunter says, "We do have a contract, you see."
I understand. Maybe another time, maybe in the future, but you know what? Keep working hard for Gunter. I know he'll make a man out of you.
And he kind of like laughs. He says, he's already taught me so much. Honestly, these past few weeks have just been a blur. It's amazing to think that literally 2 weeks ago, I was in a place full of despair and darkness. But thanks to you, thanks to Gunter, I actually have a hope for a future. I never thought I was going to have that again. Thank you all. And you could tell that like he's getting kind of like emotional and choked up. And again, like do remember he is like around Zill's age, and so he's not super young, but compared to Zill, like pretty inexperienced with companions, like true companions and companionship. So, and I know that's a relatively new thing to Zill as well. So, yeah,
But he's got a mouse at least, so
true.
he's got that.
So,
Salic does not have a mouse.
If he wanted to, I'm sure there's plenty of mice on the ships. In the
I
docks.
do recommend mouse friends. They're very, very friendly. And he takes waffle. See?
As a
Mhm.
person who lives in the real world, I do not recommend mouse friends.
That is true.
Maybe ones that can send you, bring you things, notes across the room that don't understand you, and you get a huck back to their owners. Those are the kind of mouse friends I recommend. Or the kind
Yeah.
that go like, ha ha, oh boy, oh boy. Those are also good mouse friends.
Oh yeah. Do you know a lot of mice that do that?
You know?
Well, I mean, I thought Waffle could, but then when he tried to communicate with me, I didn't understand a single thing he said. Looks like.
I don't know.
I just think it would be convenient. It seems like Thordan would be able to speak finely with him, I guess.
And he like caresses his chin. I don't think that's how that works. It's more of an intuition, I think. Less actual conversation.
Well, maybe you have to teach that to me, Thordan.
Zill, you know Waffle the best. Is he looking for a lady friend? Does he have a lady friend that he has somewhere?
What? Are you talking to me?
No,
No.
Waffle
No.
is quite content with his current situation.
I'm sure he's not single and ready to mingle.
I'm quite certain. Quite certain.
Well, maybe you could have an army of waffles if he got lucky.
He's still in his world adventuring phase.
Well, who's to say that he can't still be after he makes 1,000 mother versions of him? It could be quite useful. Just one waffle's useful enough. Imagine if we had a whole army of it. We could keep him in our boat.
Are we building a mice army?
Who needs a crew?
It's a crew. Maybe we could sing to them and then
Give me 6 months.
Yeah, we could sing to them and then they'd be able to perform their duties. It'd be great. Maybe they could do the cleaning, and it's good. Maybe we could name one.
Okay.
I don't know, Gus, and yeah,
Larry?
Jacques.
Oh yeah.
That's great. It sounds like a dream. It sounds like a fairy tale. In fact.
I think Waffle's okay for now.
Well, let him know that he's holding us up on our future plans. So you can arrange that marriage, or we can just hope that one day he meets the mouse.
He's not the only mouse that there is. Like,
But-
we can.
He's the only one we love. Zill.
And he's the only one proven so far.
Okay.
I mean, he could have been eaten by cats a long time ago.
This is true.
What do you think, Waffle? What do you think about this? Thordan, what is he saying?
I do think that he's hungry.
Oh, what the heck are we doing? What is this session, guys?
And during this whole conversation, the ships sailed into dock, and at that point, everyone started unloading the ships.
Yay!
And there was much rejoicing.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
So, also to the rest of the crew, or to the rest of the party, didn't Nalgoric also said that we should go and meet with Sinzirak as well, ladies? That's her name, right? Sinzirak.
Malaysiarch.
Malaysiarch, sorry. Sinzirak's the bad lady. Malaysiarch, about this specific, I guess, what King Nalgoric told us, right? We should tell her about that. Maybe she'll be of assistance to us. Perhaps. don't know. I think he said that. She said that right last time. To mention it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we should also consider stopping by there as well. I think.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, I can do that.
Great. So first to the Savvy Seas Tavern we go.
And so you do. And the crew.
Hold on.
Yes.
Before we go in there, should we have a huddle on what kind of a sailor we're looking for? Like, maybe like speed dating. Like, should we say what personalities we're looking for? Do we want a nice guy? Do we want a guy with a little bit of an edge? Do we want a woman? I don't know. Do we care? Or are we just looking to?
Another one of you. So...
You do? I think we could use another one.
I mean, I whispered to Zill. I mean, to be quite honest, we could use a couple more Belmans, I think.
I think he's got to be strong, and he's got to be fast, and he's got to be fresh from the fight, you know?
Can we get more Balbins without like the Belbin-ness of Belbin?
Well,
As Belbin stands there with his shirt.
Conversation?
As Belbin stands there with his shirt off, wiping brown all over the boat with a head hanging from his belt.
I think he's got to be sure, and he's got to be soon, and he's got to be larger than life.
you know that sounds like.
This reference is going over my head.
Do you and I? And then Thordane's like, no. Then Thordane's like, do you know what I think I need? I need a hero.
Well, maybe we should just hire Guter then. I think that would be the best. Or maybe Krillin will be the guy. Again, I was telling you, with a name like Krillin, he's bound to be able to do some great things.
And as this conversation happens, as you are pretty much following this entire crew to the Savvy Seas, everyone's just like very like eager to get there. And as you approach, it's big. It's like 3 or 4 stories tall. Probably 3 stories with the basement, but it's like quadruple wide. It's this huge place, multi-level. You can tell that there's quite a few sailors there, as it's rambunctious as it is from the outside. You can just hear that there's a party straight up going on inside this place. But as you do approach, actually Matic approaches and says, "Hey, if you're looking for sailors inside, you best try to find people that can fill certain roles on your ship. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to just have any willy-nilly sailor that maybe is basic at any job. Perhaps filling, especially with the ship your size, filling your ship first with specialists, and then the rest of the crew will come."
Right.
What? Now that I think about it, I think Belbin was onto something when it came to the speed dating. Not really dating per se, but
All
you
you
know,
guys. Just write
Wait,
it out every
Belvin
time.
said something important?
he did.
There it is.
Wow.
I hate to admit it, but you know what? Sometimes a blind man catches a fish.
Squirrel finds the nut.
I guess
Oh, well,
sometimes
that's one way to
wisdom does
say it.
come with age.
Maddox says, I do think that your situation is interesting, as, well, there's 5 of you. To be honest, most ships tend to have 1 captain. Perhaps you can delegate 1 person as captain, or not. Perhaps you could have 5 captains navigating this ship. However, there are other positions that need to be filled. You have to think, who's going to be their first mate? You got to think of people who are going to be riggers up in the rafts, rafts, doing all kinds of things, such as
Sounds like Belvin.
yes.
I was gonna say I think I'd be best as a captain.
Oh, no, not at all. No. Bad
Or
idea.
you could take someone such as myself as a navigator, which I usually tend the helm every now and then, and find our mark, be able to figure out. I know that the helm typically is manned by the first mate, but I'm there to be able to help navigate them in the right direction. You're also potentially looking for bosuns. You are going to be coming up against probably some villainous folk out there on the high seas, and having someone who knows their way around a ballista might be helpful as well. You're also looking probably for engineers, someone who can teach you of how to repair your ship if there is a hole blown into it somehow. And also just the general upkeep. These ships don't upkeep themselves. You might also want to think about grabbing some kind of medic, someone who can help as far as health on board the ship. Someone who can keep regular checkups and whatnot. Yes, and then perhaps lookouts. You do need a fair amount of lookouts to be able to always keep the rotation and on duty. Additionally, someone who can cook, someone who can always tend to the kitchens to be able to keep everybody fed and everybody happy. And, of course, most importantly, your quartermaster. Your quartermaster is incredibly important. They not only help you get your crew together, they help you find all kinds of things when you're at port, such as all the supplies that you need to restock, keep charge in the treasury of your ship, and making sure everything runs efficiently. There's quite a few roles to fill in this ship, and if you can find someone for every role, even if you think that maybe you're ready to take on these roles, it might be good to be able to hire 1 or 2 people for each of those roles to help you really learn and master those.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, Fate Weaver, question for you. We're on the schooner, so we need a crew of 12.
Minimum.
Do we count as 5 of those 12?
You count as 5 of the 12.
Okay. So it's not like the captain is one of those 12, right?
So technically the captain is one of those 12. But again, that's the minimum of whatever you need.
Yeah.
And so, if you, like, for example, if you went into a battle and you lost one person, you would be struggling sailing the ship. At least, like, it wouldn't be sailed as efficiently. If you lost a few people, obviously the more you're going to be like, I don't know how I'm going to sail this thing because it's big.
Christian, where do we see the maximum capacity of?
It's at the very bottom of.
Yeah, it's like row 120. Sorry.
Okay,
see-
yeah, okay. Yeah. 20 to 12 to 30. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much we can afford right now. I mean, I think one thing that'd be great about going to Malaysiark is potentially, especially if we're giving her these boats for the city as well as all this kind of thing, maybe she could help pay for at least our initial cruise. So I think the more the better that we can get out of her. If we can get a full 30 person crew, especially since I know nothing about running a ship, honestly. I'd love some help and I'd love to learn, but I know nothing. What about the rest of you?
What if we found volunteers?
Well, volunteers are good, but I feel like if you're paid for something, you're bound to do your job a little bit better than someone who's just giving their free time away, you know?
Well, not if you put the fear of Volomnia in them.
Well, now
That's
you're
what
sounding
I
like
was
Velvet.
saying.
Yeah,
It's better to be feared than to be loved.
Oh no, it's kind of like an awe and wonder. It's not necessarily like I'm gonna be smited in my footsteps, you know.
I
What
wonder
about
if I'm
smoted?
going to be smited. Smote as well.
Smoten, smoted.
I mean,
Yeah.
it is a
Smitten.
Lamnia's breath.
Yes, I think it's called smitten.
Yes, of course. Smitten like a kitten.
Well, I mean, I think that'd be great. I feel like I would trust them if they were paid, and I feel like for their work they deserve to be paid too. I mean, they're putting their life on the line for us, you know. And maybe I think
Are they?
Malaysia can help. I mean, I guarantee you. I mean, just life on the seas is dangerous.
Ah, indeed. And Matic, he says, the seas are a wily beast. Whether it's a storm at sea, whether you're under attack, which hopefully far and few in between, or even just, starvation. You might go long time without actually finding a place to land and restock. It just depends on what good of a navigator you have and how well your navigator knows these waters.
Don't worry, we've got plenty of mice.
We got one. So,
That's plenty.
potentially.
Going back to the speed dating idea, I say that we get one very chunky fella, just in case we run out of food.
Yeah,
on the
he'll
trip.
last longer. Good call. Yeah.
It's an option.
You can go longer without food.
I'm not saying we're gonna count on doing anything to him, but if circumstances were to arise, I don't want you guys to be trying to hunt me down just because I'm the old
oldest.
bogey of the group.
Yeah.
I'm sure it won't come to that, Velvet. I'm sure we can resort to better things than eating the chunkiest member on board.
Wait, we're talking about eating him?
I wasn't. Velvet was. Obviously.
More stored energy, you know?
Well, I mean, maybe we could catch some giant octopus, make some calamari. That might be good.
So do we need some fishing gear for this?
Well, maybe we could get some crew that knows how to do so. I don't know. I don't know a thing about it. Anyways, I think we should start looking, right? Maybe we should go in.
Yes, let's! I walk into the tavern. Or wherever.
To the tavern?
So you walk into the Savvy Seas, and it's this large opening, about like 15 feet on each side, this giant door frame, enormous doors that are propped open, actually, completely open to the elements that are the docks of Takai Town. And you go in, and there are a number of people. There's easily close to 200 people in here at this moment in the middle of the afternoon on a Monday. And the people are just enjoying themselves. They're not necessarily all drinking, but they're all catching up, having a good time. A number of people, from the looks of traders to what suspiciously looks like pirate type folks, or more ones that are finely dressed in more of your I don't know, kind of like military uniform and garb. All kinds of people here, but they all seem to be enjoying each other's company and feasting. And you see, actually, at the very back along the bar, there are 3 individuals and one man who is very jolly. He says, "Welcome, each and every one of you. Come have a drink. Come have a piece of turkey legs. Come have." Oh wait, we don't have turkeys here. And he thinks about it. I don't know what our meat is. What is our meat that we have here? He's a very jolly, very jokey man as you approach Willie Krillin.
And I think Yuki turns to Belvin and is like, "I think we found your fat man."
Is it pretty rowdy in here? Like, is it
Decently
or
rowdy.
Is it just like very but is it like a happy rowdy? Is
Yeah.
it like a
Yeah, super rowdy. Not like you walk in and like people are like on edge ready to brawl each other. Not that kind of
okay.
rowdy. Yeah.
Okay.
And not a lot of drunkenness too. Just like kind of happy. Like some people are doing business talks in the corner. You can see that there's like coin being exchanged here. You can tell that like people are just enjoying themselves for like a nice meal here. All kinds of things. Some people are singing songs in the corners and throughout. People are playing games at the different tables. Yeah, it's a good time. You can tell that people are just killing time here before like their ships leave.
Okay.
Why, hello, Master Willie Krillin.
Oh, I see that you are not a familiar face, but clearly my name precedes me. Haha, my name is Willie Krillin. You can call me Master Krillin if you wish. But who might you be?
That's Yuki.
It's me, but I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. It's like,
Yeah, and I'm Luxalia, and this is Zill, and this is Belvin, and this quiet one who's mysterious is Thordane.
Science.
Yeah, Thordane's looking in the corner. He's looking at one of a deal going down, and he's just like, "Oh, I wonder the economics behind such an exchange."
Yes. Yeah, could we get a round of your best brew?
Haha, yes.
Potentially, some oolong or some green. We're talking tea, right? This is a tea
Ah.
event.
Oh, that's not the kind of brew we have. Perhaps we can fetch something here. And he looks to like one of the like barmaids that are there. Is like, do we have anything like tea on tap? You can tell like this guy like clearly has no idea like what he serves, but he says, The one thing that most people come asking for is rum. We have lots of rum. And he like points like to all kinds of bottles, and they're like all rum.
Big
That,
Willie, I'll take a rum.
ha ha ha, that's
Rum
my
sounds
man.
good to me.
And Thordain's just like, why, yes, I've never touched such an extinguished, or yes.
Distinguished.
Distinguished. Esteemed.
Drink. I will take 3 of those.
Okay. I will stick with something bubbly.
They bring you each your drinks, and so for each rum, it's going to cost you 1 EC. So go ahead and remove that.
Thordain says, money is no matter for me. Drinks are on me.
And as he reaches for his coin, he just like feels like immediately like the sudden like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. And then a voice in his head says, "Don't do it. Don't do it."
But his impulses are too much, and he's just so happy in the moment that he does it. For everyone's drink.
A man of science.
Yes, and so he does all that, and actually, Luxalia, the one of the barmaids, she comes over and she places in front of you what looks to be actually a very traditional tea set that came from the Silverwood. Outpouring of the tea is a very finely kind of semi-sweet aroma of what you can only assume is tea. But you take a sip and you realize this is not of the quality that you're used to back from what you. But it's passable as tea.
Average. Okay. Nice.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Indeed. If there's anything else that I can do for you, just let me know. But while you're here, enjoy your time. There are plenty of people to meet, plenty of things to do. Takai Town is never without its own adventures, I must say. Especially here. If you want to find a crew to be able to sail with, you can find them just around the corner, upstairs, however you want to do it. There's all kinds of people not only looking for employment, but looking for people to hire as well.
Well, it seems like you not only have a wonderful establishment here, but you also have an astute mind for the matter. We are actually looking for a crew ourselves, and you know what? We're actually looking for someone who really knows how to run a ship, because I don't believe any of us know how to run a ship here. Do we? Do you know how to run a ship, Zill? What about you, Thordain? Luxalia, you've never even seen the ocean before. Get out of here.
That's not true at all. I've sailed more than a lot of you.
The only one here is Belbin. Belbin is the only one here who knows how to do the rigging. I know nothing.
Even though
I know
he
nothing.
grew up in a landlocked area. Anyway, yeah, no, I've sailed actually a fair amount, but keep in mind this is a holy ship, so.
You need someone to patch those up. There are quite a few actually over there at that table. Just the other.
Like, sanctified.
The Belbin's excrement? Yuki doesn't understand.
No, like baptized in the seas of the water of the seas. Yeah. Like
Sounds very
Alamnia's
poetic.
breath is upon it. Like
That
it's
is the name of our
sacred.
ship, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, it's like a. Never mind.
What was
like
that
it.
drink you
What
gave
about some
Luxalia?
people who need jobs?
Sally seems to be
That
struggling.
was not tea.
I like it.
What is naughty? The speed of the ship
Well, I mean,
goes by knots.
yeah,
What are
I
we talking
mean,
about?
maybe it's these nuts we're talking about. I don't
We're
know.
talking about the rigging because you have to tie knots.
Well,
I'm gonna have all of you make. I'm gonna have all of you, with the exception of Zill, make charisma saving throws.
Oh my god.
So Luxalia, Yuki, and Belvin, make charisma saving throws for
They'll
me,
just enjoy
or
his
survival
drink.
checks. Yeah,
9.
9.
Charisma. Oh,
Gosh, charisma
Wait, charisma or charm?
Charisma.
Charisma survival check.
Oh, I have a +8. Oh! 23. I'm not used to
Natalia?
this.
11. Okay. So all of you are chatting back and forth, but honestly, it just kind of comes off as endearing. Like you're all close, and and basically Willie, he's just looking at all of you, just like quite entertaining, and says, "Ha ha ha ha! So a group of individuals such as yourself, a group of adventurers by the looks of it, and they look at like very well equipped, definitely not from here." Are looking to find their sea legs. Well, this is the place to come. In fact, probably no better place in all of the southern seas here in Everlast. So, take your time. If you want to go over, we can actually send you over to a table to be able to perhaps hire some individuals. There's a few people that I think I might send your way, those who are interested in looking for some jobs. But enjoy. Just have a seat, enjoy, and really soak in the atmosphere here. It's quite amazing indeed. And before you know it, you shall have a crew in no time.
Why, thank you, Master Krillin. We would really appreciate it. And you know what? Maybe we can cover more ground if we split up. I kind of like the speed dating idea that Belvin was talking about, but not actually dating.
Do you
Not
have any
actually
women
dating.
here for hire?
Let's split off into pairs of 2. Zill and I will take the east wing. Belbin and Yuki, you take the west wing.
Oh, why do I have to go?
Go.
Okay.
And Thordane's like, I'll sit here at the bar. With his 3 rums.
I actually like this. I think we'll do a good job with this.
Okay. And so between the two of your groups, you need to go find people to fill the positions of first mate, navigator, rigger, bosun, engineer, medic, lookout, cook, and quartermaster. So,
Bosun?
I wish I was writing those down.
no, it's okay. We can discuss right now like what you want to do and like whose you want to
So
take care of.
Bosun is like the one where they man the cannons.
Yeah, they're your weapons master. Basically, they take control of your armory, or not take control, but they like help organize and like kind of pass out, make sure all of your like equipment as far as weapons, ballistas, cannons, whatever are maintained. And he's like the primary one that like teaches everybody how to use such things.
There it is. Okay. Yeah.
And then the quartermaster, as mentioned, is going to be the person who takes care of all of the supplies of your ship and make sure that all the jobs need to be done. Like he's the one that has like the one that's like these decks need swabbing. That's the one that your quartermaster.
Belvin job.
These decks are needing swabbing.
Then like your medic is the one who just like takes care of regular medical checks. Lookout are the ones who sit in the crow's nest, just seeing like if there's any threats, any islands, anything like that. Cooks obviously make food, but they're also in charge of the entertainment on the ship. Your engineer's the one who makes sure everything is working and functioning properly, and repairs made to the ship are done by engineers. And then first mate is going to be kind of a jack of all trades, someone who probably has leadership experience. And then your navigator is obviously going to be someone who like, knows the waters, knows the seas, make sure you don't get lost. And then your riggers are the ones who pretty much do like all of the deck stuff, but mostly unfurl sails and make sure that like everyone has like lifelines tied if there is like a combat and that kind of stuff. So
Quick question.
Yeah, we
As
don't
far-
want the first mate falling overboard into a supernova. Am I right?
da, 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 da.
Great question. As far as like some of these, like it seems like it's only like one person per thing. Is there opportunity to have like multiple? For example, Yuki could provide entertainment. I don't think she considers herself to be a very actually good cook though.
Yeah, which is so that's part of the reason too why you might want to like hire someone for that role, even if you do fit a certain role. One, you need someone to teach you how to do that role in order to efficiently do that. But two, to kind of cover the bases, or like for example, teach you how to cook if you don't know how to cook, or like something like that.
I guess Belvin could teach Yuki how to cook. Belvin's real good at cooking, apparently.
Where'd you get that idea?
I thought you were. I thought.
You're
Am I
old.
wrong about that? I thought we were...
I don't.
Back in the
Oh,
day,
no,
back
no.
in the day when everybody had jobs, I think Belbin did choose cook,
Yeah.
like artisan jobs. I'm pretty sure Belbin was a chef.
I thought I remembered something like that.
Yeah.
And like Yuki was like a leather worker or something.
That was a little
I think
complicated.
Belbin used to have a show. Beat Belbin Roku. What's your last name?
Yeah, you got it, Roku.
Beat Belbin play.
Yeah.
Or he'd play you. Okay.
Yay,
Um,
that's nice.
So maybe
yeah,
we should
I
try to
walked
get...
up to a table of sailors.
Who are you looking for specifically?
I'm looking specifically for
First mate, navigator, rigger, navigator. Okay,
Navigator.
okay.
I'll walk up and say, "Oh, hello, gentlemen. I seem to have lost my way. Any of you good at helping me find it?"
Lord.
Make a
I'm glad
charm
Yuki's
skill
not
check for me.
there. Dear Lord.
No.
I hope someone
No.
just kidnaps you, Uxalia, and takes you.
Are you sure this is a good?
It's okay. Zill's right next to me. Let's see.
Kind of goes like.
Charm, you said?
Charm, yeah.
No, but I'm gonna leave it up to you.
8.
8.
Um,
So as you kind of step up, there is someone who does look up. Oh, did you say you're looking for a navigator?
Yeah, that's more or less what I was trying to say.
You found your woman, and she pulls her hood up and says, "The name is Riona. Do you have a ship of your own, or are you looking for some kind of ship to hire, perhaps?"
Oh no, we have a
Did not
ship.
see that one coming.
It's a holy ship. Well, what was your name again?
It doesn't have
Riona?
holes. in it.
Riona, yes.
He's a
Riona.
priest, shrine maiden person.
I feel you, Riona. Yeah, cool. How do you like to navigate best? Interview time.
Go ahead and make a wisdom skill check for me.
I love this. This is great.
Wisdom.
Wisdomous. He's very wisdomous.
Wisdom. Oh man, sorry. We're getting there. 12.
12. Well, I am skilled in navigation, as I've known my way between the islands here, at least in close proximity to Aishan Island. I am from Ithana Island, which is probably about a 6-day travel from here. One of the very small islands, but I've spent my days helping out on ships for hire, and I know these waters pretty well, all the way up the inland strait and down. I'm not saying I'm necessarily a veteran sailor myself, but if you need some navigating, I could probably fit that job pretty well.
What direction does the sun rise?
What direction does the sun rise? Well, of course, it rises in the east and sets in the west.
Good. And the North Star is in which direction?
You're funny. I think the two of us are gonna get along quite well.
Cool. Will you work for food and board?
Make an intelligence
Lavia?
or make a knowledge skill check for me.
What's going on here?
Knowledge. Ooh. Oh wait, no, just that. 10.
10. Well, you see, my services don't necessarily come cheap. Food and board is the least of what I would expect. I would say if I were to be hired. How does 2 EC sound per day?
Great. I don't know. Wait, Zill, you help me out. You're the money man.
What are you talking about? I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, but you have more money than the rest of us. So,
I don't know if anyone knows that.
I can just tell.
Just the heavy pockets.
The jingling as he walks.
Your pants haven't sagged quite like this in a long time. So,
Would he know if that's a good deal or not? I can roll for it. What would I roll?
Go ahead and make a knowledge skill check for me.
Oh gosh. 11.
11. Yeah, I mean, that seems relatively fair. It doesn't sound like a ton of money, and you're not quite sure how long like the travel is, but based on like how much money you have, like it doesn't sound like a ton of money.
But I'm also very
Stingy.
protective of my money.
Yes, yes.
I'm frugal.
I get.
It's a deal.
Okay. Sure.
I'm gonna have you go ahead and make another wisdom skill check for me as you take a look at her.
Me? Him?
Oh lord.
Both of you can make
11.
it. 11.
And I rolled 13.
It's very clear that she has a very bubbly disposition, as she's easy to joke and whatnot, but there's something about her kind of fidgety, almost to the point where she looks a little bit easily distracted. However, that's not necessarily a drawback from being a good navigator. As she talks and as she speaks to you, it does seem like she knows her way around, and she would actually even be able to draw a few maps if you were wanting to see her skills as far as what's going on and what she can do. But she's willing to do it, and if you are willing to do a deal for 2 EC a day, you might have found your navigator.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
So in your guys' sheets, under the, let me go ahead and pull that up.
It's on like line 60, I think. Is that what you're talking about?
So like underneath where like your roles are, basically it's like key characters. There's like a key character section in your crew members. Go ahead and write her name down, and then additionally, all of you. No, Riona.
It is Riona.
Riona. Write her name down, and in kind of the notes section, you can say that she's navigator and just say like 2 EC per day.
Sorry, where is this?
Line 84.
Yeah, there you go.
On the ship warbands.
So that's your navigator.
Taking off Matic.
Yeah, you can go ahead and take Matic off of that.
Oh dear.
I can't add anything else, and it just says Hero Commander Captain.
No, at the very, very far
Oh.
right, there's like a notes.
Yeah.
You could just go navigator, and then if you do have any notes, for them, you can fill that out as you get to know them and learn about who they are a little bit more. When do you plan to set sail?
Do we know that? Soon?
Yes. We
Soon.
plan on setting sail when the sun is
How
red.
How do you feel about elves?
I don't think that was tea that looks solid.
Elves. I have no problem with elves. In fact, I've traveled a fair bit with elves. They're a great company to have.
Oh good, we're gonna go visit some.
Ah, wonderful. Perhaps, Fashion Fae?
Exactly.
Wonderful. I've never actually been to Fashion Fae. I've always dreamed of what that beautiful city would be like. But I do know my way there. And as long as some of the topography hasn't changed too much, we should get there hopefully safely. She seems pretty confident about that.
What kind of a person is she?
Lady.
She's a human.
Is she a? Okay.
Oh yeah, I should put that down.
Yeah, she's a human from the small island of Aithana. Aithana.
Yes.
Valneth would get along well with her.
Oh, no. Cool. Hey, do you have any friends?
Friends. I have a few.
Cool.
Are you looking for friends? I could introduce
No,
you.
I've got plenty, but we need to hire more than just a navigator. So,
Ah,
do you know any like first mates or captains or bosuns or cooks or engineers?
you're looking for some very specific jobs here. Seems like you
Oh,
needed
yeah.
an entire crew.
Yep.
Ah, ah. Well, perhaps,
Actually, that's not true. We have a navigator.
ah. Well, let me navigate you to perhaps someone that would be useful. I don't know a lot of these adventurers too well, or these sailors too well, but I'll see what I can do to be able to help you. And you guys talk. Belbin and Yuki, what kind of person do you want to look for?
Yeah,
Yuki is
Yuki-
going to say to Belbin, Belbin, I have no clue what I'm doing here. You seem to know what these kind of people are and these kind of people, so I'm just gonna leave it to you. I'm just gonna make sure you don't
Yep.
get into any trouble. How's that sound?
Yuki, you don't worry. Let's start with the engineers. I can tell an engineer inside and out. So we're
I
gonna
like where
start
your head's.
scanning the room.
All right. So
Okay.
You know,
Yes.
you might be a Mr. Musclehead over there, but it seems like you know a thing or two about engineers there, Belbin.
Past life. Oh
I
yeah.
see.
Had some big explosions back in my day.
Oh. Maybe, hopefully not from the rear end.
Those two.
Oh,
I'll see a guy right over in that corner, facing the wall, not wanting to talk to anyone. We're walking up to him.
okay,
Tap him on the shoulder.
make an influence skill check for me.
Alright, give me 1 sec. Let's see what my influence
Can I
is.
stand right by him with my hands on my hips, adding to his influence score like this?
You can roll it with hope.
Like a hero.
Thank goodness. Okay, let's see. Not much better. Okay, a 9.
A 9. You walk over, and actually, as you approach, this man's presence is much actually smaller than what you initially saw. You tap this boy on the shoulder, and he looks around, and he is short and he is squat. And he says, "Oi, what can I do for you? It is an earthen fairy, gentlemen."
There's no such thing as dwarves in this game. Earthen fairies. This is the first earthen fairy we've met?
No, we met one on the road a while ago.
Yeah, I think so. Huh.
Hey, pal, I see you're an engineer.
How would you know such things?
Oh, I can sniff one out in a room full of people. You,
I think
He
it's
sniffs. He's like, don't know what an engineer smells like, perchance, but do continue. You have my interest, sir.
do you want to make some extra dough on the side, travel the world, help save the world, beat up some guys, maybe kill some people? Does that feel interesting to you, or should I go find someone else?
Make an influence check.
Again? Alright, let's see. Ooh, even worse. 5.
5. You sound like a man who does not have a lot of direction in your life.
And Yuki pipes up and she's just like, my good friend here, he's not the best with words. However, he is an honest man for the most part. Or an honest Glyvin. Mr. Yuki, at your service.
Yeah,
The name is Tully.
Holy.
Tully.
Oh, do you make good coffee?
Coffee. Not quite heard of it. I've had
Anyway.
rum here.
They're pretty similar, Tully.
He's very matter of fact, like very kind of straightforward answers, and kind of like takes everything that you say like at face value. It's very that much is very clear, and he's just kind of still looking at you curiously.
Yuki, this is the guy we want.
What is that? No, I don't understand.
Very
seems
straightforward, little awkward. Trust me, I know the type. That's what you want in an engineer.
I've never met anyone like this in my life, so I trust you, Belbin. But
All right.
maybe if you get into any trouble, I'll be here.
All right, yeah, I'll play hardball for a little bit first.
Okay, all right. Good cop, bad cop. I get it.
Yep.
Good idea.
All right. So Tolly, are you into all killing people? Do you want to be along in the adventure? If not, we also have this other position where you can help fix our boat while we're sailing. Just be along for the adventure. Be in the basement. You don't have to see anyone. It's very secluded if that's what you're wanting.
Well, that second option seems to be more what an engineer would do.
Both are open if you want either one.
I can fix a bolt or two. I've done that quite a bit. Obviously, many earthen ferries don't quite ride many ships, but I pride myself in the work that I do on board each ship that I'm on. I do quite a bit of maintaining. I've even learned a special trick where I've learned to use tar in order to repair some of these holes. Relatively new technology, but technology evolves every day. You could tell he's in his element here.
This is what he's into.
Yeah,
All
totally.
right. Yeah, Tol, I'm super interested, man. I'd love to hear about it on our ship.
Also, totally. Just in case, I think what my comrade was getting to, in case something does go down, say maybe we are attacked by a kraken of sorts, or maybe some sort.
Do you plan on tracking down a kraken while we're
No,
sailing?
not at all. But you never know what happens when we're at sea, you know. So if you were put in a situation where you had to defend yourself, would that be something you'd be able to do?
Sure. Put a weapon in my arm and I can chuck it.
What
Perfect.
kind of weapon do you prefer?
Just give me whatever, something sharp.
Okay.
You'll be able to make something sharp on the ship. You'll have time.
Indeed. I'm gonna have you make wisdom checks for me.
Wisdom. Man, I am rolling like garbage.
It's okay. Getting that rust off.
7.
The 9. Coming in hot.
Belbin, you look at him and there's something about him that's not quite right. As far as maybe red flags go, there's something about him that's a little bit off. Yuki, you recognize this too. However, you kind of look past it all and realize, it's probably less to do with there's something bad about this guy other than he's very difficult to approach. And so whoever's going to be working with this person has to be able to be okay with that, essentially. Just by his nature, he's very unapproachable and could easily scare a lesser person off.
Yuki pipes up, just noticing this, and says, do you happen to have any friends who could potentially help you with your work? I mean, nothing says working with others than working with the people that you enjoy working with, right?
My best friends are the one that gives me the money that I need to survive. And he kind of points at the table around him. As you can see, I occupy this table myself. I don't keep many friends these days, but if you're willing to pay me the coin, I will be your best friend.
Great. I say we hire him, Yuki.
I mean, he's an odd one. He's an odd one indeed. But you know what? I know nothing about such subjects, so you know what, Belvin, I'll defer to you on this one.
Yuki, and if there's anyone that we need to eat when we're on sea, it's someone that this guy won't be missed. So he's got no friends, no nothing.
Wait, I thought we were looking for the engineer, not the cook.
Yeah, we need a cook to cook.
Make a stealth check for me. Belvin, make a stealth check for me.
Let's see. Are we in darkness right now?
No, it's not darkness.
Okay.
And it's less
12.
sneaking and more what you're actually saying in front of. Oi, you, quit your mumbling. Tell me, give me a price and I'll accept it or reject it. Don't insult me.
All right, let's.
I think I'm pretty good with money. I was the wallet for a while. You remember that, Belvin?
I do remember that. Yeah.
Look,
Gloof.
our gloof bag. Our gloof is running a little empty recently. However, However, we have very heavy coffers, my dear friend. I would
Remember,
say
good cop,
engineer
bad
is
cop.
true. Engineer is a very skilled job.
Yes.
It requires a lot of labor itself, and to have a good engineer means a good running ship. So I would say 3 EC per day.
3 C per day. And what does your colleague have to say about such things?
Nah, he's being generous. I'd give you 1.
Hmm.
What about this? What if we pay you based on how much you fix? If nothing on the ship breaks, then you get a free ride to wherever we're going. If we put a giant bullet hole or cannonball in the side, then we'll pay you to fix it.
I will tell you this. You're paying me money. I have ridden many ships and neither of them have been attacked, but my services are always there on retainer if they are needed. I am always on duty to work. How does that sound? I deserve a rate. I don't need to be going anywhere. I'm more than perfectly content staying here until someone offers me a job that pays well.
Well, all right. Let's go back. We'll split the difference between Yuki and I. We'll go 1.5 EC a day.
He thinks about it for a second. Make a influence skill check.
This will be a nat 16. There we
Yo,
go.
let's
Nat
freaking
16.
go. He's
There
gonna
we
accept
go.
0.
I know what my work is fair pay, and I know what my skilled labor does. I am no veteran on the sea, but I am very good when it comes to making sure that boats stay safe and boats' hulls get repaired. I will work for 1 EC per day. And a full belly. And a place to sleep.
I'll
Do
get
we
you
have a
the
deal?
nicest pillow. I'll get you the nicest pillow.
Oh, that's more luxurious than my last trek.
Maybe it should be waterproof. I don't know. I feel like being down underneath it, maybe you'll get wet quite easily.
If he's a good engineer, he shouldn't be getting wet.
I guess that's true.
He just points, doesn't say anything, but he points.
Well, you're hired, my good. How do the earthen fairies do it? And Yuki's trying to like rack her brain, like thinking if she's heard anything. You know what? I think this is how you do it. And so she just spits a loogie in her hand and sticks it out to shake.
Gross.
He looks at you like in the eyes and down and says, "Were you raised in a barn?" And he takes his napkin and wipes off your hand. It takes another napkin, puts it in his hand, and then shakes your hand.
Well, I just, it's like
Filth.
filth. I wouldn't say that. It's more of a.
As long as you have people that
gross.
keep that ship clean, I'll be a happy fairy.
All right, so he's not only a socially awkward dude, but he's also a super duper germaphobe. All right, I'll make sure to make a note of that. Well, you're hired. Well, pleasure doing
right.
business with you.
Yep. Totally. We'll find you here before we leave.
I'll be here.
Expect a call from us.
Indeed. And I will come running. I am prepared at a moment's notice.
Great.
Mm.
We'll catch you.
Holy, maybe
on
we'll
the
teach him
flip
how to
side.
make some coffee.
All right. Zill and Luxalia, what other roles are you looking for potentially?
What do you think, Zill?
Just Phil.
We just did navigators.
And engineer.
Engineer. What was the engineer?
Do we know that?
Totally. You guys.
Well, I mean,
I'll
he
go
can-
tell
he can have
Melvin.
it, but-
Melvin, Yuki, we found a navigator. How are you doing?
Great, Luxali. We just found an engineer. You're gonna love him.
How
He's
much are
really
we
good at
agreeing
this.
to pay him?
Ours,
what
we're
was our
paying
rate?
ours 1 day, 1 EC a day.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised. Melvin's really good at this.
I offered him
Why are you
1.5,
paying us
and he talked me down to 1.
I don't know. We should have talked about what we were willing to pay people. Are we gonna pay the same per crew member, or is like your position gonna give you more than
I
ours?
don't know. I feel like they're gonna talk on the ship. There's not a whole lot to talk about.
Yeah, that's fair.
What are they paying you?
We,
Well,
if it bothers him, we can renegotiate later.
yeah.
I don't know if we want to be
All
pissing
right.
off our engineer. He's gonna be. That's pretty
We'll
important.
go.
He's gonna be blowing up his spaceship.
Hey, so is the navigator. If our navigator dies, we'll have to eat the engineer. So,
Eat the engineer. What are we talking about here?
Hey,
I'm
also, on
joking.
that note, Luxalia, on that note, this guy doesn't have any friends and no one would know he's missing.
Alumnia would.
So we should have been paying him a little bit more for that
Oh dear.
huge bonus.
Anyway, okay. So we will find a captain or a cook. I feel like we need those two next. Which do you want to find?
Let's find a cook.
Okay, we'll find the cook. You find the captain. Maybe someone named Kirk with some nice flowing locks, or a bald man named Jean-Luc Picard.
Do you want to try to get the captain and we can try to get the cook since you've got all those everything
No.
you just named?
No, I think you can find a good captain.
You know what? I think we can do it, Belbin. With how well you did last time, I think we can do it.
Tell him, yeah, we'll do
Yuki
our
believes
best
in
this time.
Belbin.
Zil and I have
Rule well right
refined
now.
tastes. So we'll go try that guy out. We'll go find the cook. Maybe the
Alright.
kitchen would be a good place to start. Okay,
Make
break.
sure-
Go.
Okay, make sure our cook can cook things up in a desperate situation.
Okay.
Not
Exotic
question what
ingredients.
what ingredients he has.
Ingredients. I'll make him go through the gambit. Do an appetizer, a
Yes.
main course, and a dessert.
Okay.
Each with a mystery ingredient. Maybe we could do like 4 people and then chop people as they go.
We also
I'm
need to
looking
see.
for them in the kitchen.
Not kill them. Just like
It-
you're
oh.
dismissed. We don't need your services. My
What-
goodness.
how are you
Make
gonna use
faith
the
survival
ingredients
checks.
if you don't chop them?
Just kidding.
We
Just kidding. Just
also
kidding.
need to see how well he does his rations.
True.
Yes.
Good idea. Rations are important to an old team.
We'll go find the cook. You
Now
go
when
find
you have a
the captain.
disposable engineer, they're not.
Let's go find Jean-Luc Kirk and Picard. I don't know.
Kirkland Grand Captain.
Yeah. Kirkland's nice.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright, go. Okay, Zil.
Luxalia and Zil, I'm gonna have you both make wisdom checks for me.
Try.
Oof. Oof. 5.
11 again.
Luxalia, you are looking for a cook, and you're just like, I don't even know what to look for. Like, am I just looking for mannerisms or whatnot? And Zil, all you're doing is you are following your nose. You make your way actually back to the kitchens of the tavern, and you kind of peek your head in like passage. There's like these curtains, like these 2 curtains that kind of separate the dining space and the kitchens. And you see a number of people at work, but one person who is actually somewhat someone who is standing on like a step stool, like a really tall step stool, a very short person, and they look like they are dressed as the head chef of this tavern. Perhaps this is someone that you could potentially ask for advice.
Zil, I don't think we're allowed back here.
Sounds expensive. It's fine.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Well, jeez, what are you doing? You nearly gave me a heart attack.
Sorry.
What?
I'm not trying to scare you.
Oh.
I would like to ask for your assistance.
Oh, what can I assist you with? I'm here just finishing up a couple of pies. And you look over at the pies, and they look immaculate, delicious pies.
Ooh. We have one question and then a follow-up question depending on how you answer that one.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Are you in search of adventure in your life?
Adventure.
Change of pace, change of scenery.
Well, let me tell you something. Cooking is quite an adventure. The other day, I ran into some very odd ingredients, and I had to figure out how to cook these things. I did a great job indeed. Is this what you mean?
you would still be cooking.
Ah,
It's just
wonderful.
where the cooking is taking place that would change.
So, instead of cooking here, I'd be cooking on a mountaintop.
Yes.
Boat.
A boat? A boat? Do boats have kitchens?
Does that boat have a kitchen?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
5-star. All the perks. Commercial range.
Make an influence skill check.
Who?
Luxalia.
Oh, Lord.
Influence 11.
11. Oh, that sounds mighty interesting indeed. Oh, I've been wanting Willie to get me something much better than what we'd have here. These are from the Dark Ages, I got to say.
Another very, very important follow-up question.
Oh,
How do you feel about mice?
mice. Well, I've done my fair share of chasing them out of this place, if you know what I'm saying.
Would you be able to be friends with a mouse?
Oh. Well, actually, funny story. And she goes ahead and she begins, like, talking, like, oh, the other day I found somebody who was actually out there. And you can tell, like, she just keeps ranting on and on about all kinds of rumors and things that she's heard from people about, like, the stories that they've had about mice. And just, like, she doesn't really answer the question. But then she says, oh, by the way, my name is Remy. And she, basically holds her hand out to shake to you.
What do you think of the dish ratatouille?
Ratatouille? Oh, is that something that you make with mouse?
Nope.
I'm Zil, this is
Vegetables.
Luxalia, and this is Waffle.
Eh,
He's an important member
did
of
that
the
just,
party.
did that just come out of your armor? I think you may need a bath, sir.
No, he's my friend. This is why I was asking
Here's
him
the
about
thing.
mice.
Do
He's
you
the only-
think you could cook with this mouse on your head,
No,
pulling your hair?
Waffle stays with me.
Maybe I do like a chef's hat.
I would say it's probably a bit of a distraction, but a challenge as long as it's not biting my wee head.
Oh, it would be
Yuki's
very
dying.
tasty.
Waffle won't need to be on your head. Waffle won't need to be on your head.
Oh, thank goodness.
just need
Are there
your
any
personal
other
care.
mice that will be on my head?
Maybe
I
a
don't
hat,
think so.
yes.
I just need your personal.
Wait,
care.
the rat!
I will
No!
not kill this mouse.
As long as he stays in your filthy armor, I think I'll be fine.
Oh, good. You can kill every other mouse. That's fine.
No, wait, they're really good at cooking. They can't be.
I don't know what mice you've seen in your lives, but here in the kitchen I've never seen a mouse that can cook. They're dirty vermin. But
No, there's a saying where I come from. Anyone can cook. You know? So it just takes the right rat.
Right, we're trying to hire her.
Oh yeah,
Guys in here.
sorry.
No wonder you guys have to pay people so much to get them.
Yeah, I'm just joking, by the way.
oh,
Okay.
good,
You
good.
do the talking, so.
Would you be interested in being our boat's cook?
Oh, where are you planning on going, and for how long?
We're going to see some elves. We're going to see some men,
Oh,
and we're going to be gone as long as it takes.
as long as it
Are
takes.
you a man or a woman?
I'm a woman, of course. Look at me.
Oh, good.
And you look at her, and she is a very plucky gnomish fairy, actually. Zil is somewhat familiar, as a couple of these have been seen coming in and out of Helix, as there is a relatively large community in the forests that surround Helix, but not too much elsewhere. And so it's quite interesting that she actually is here in this kitchen. But she is a fairy, and she is a cook. She does, to answer your question, I don't know. How do you want to try to influence her? You want to charm her in, or do you want to influence her somehow?
I would like to try to influence her because I am not charming at all.
How are you going to do such things?
Do it.
So,
You got it.
well, first we would need to do a taste test because we're going to be eating your cooking. We need to know.
Do I get to have some of the taste testing too?
I don't see why not. You need to know how your own dishes taste, but
Ah,
smelling this kitchen, I don't think that'll be a problem.
no, not at all.
We can pay you, and you get to see the world, or at least more of it.
And we
So
get
the
to
main
see you
questions
doing it
are-
with this mouse on your head.
How good are you at making rations? And give us your best meal.
Rations? You mean rationing for the course of a journey, or rationing as far as curating and drying meat? Or curing and drying meat?
Curing and drawing, something like if, okay, we get in a lot of fights. Hopefully the fights will stay off the boat, but we can't guarantee that. This could be dangerous. But you have great
Dangerous?
stories to tell your friends.
Do you have enemies?
A few.
Yes! But they're all heathens!
But it's fine, I've got me trusty axe.
Oh, that's probably because they like the food from the desert regions of Gildenbro. Very, very too spicy for my taste. I would agree. Those people are heathens.
They are. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Are they your enemies? Because if so, they're
Yes.
mine too.
Yes. They are. Both
Absolutely.
of our enemies.
But see this big axe?
Hmm.
Feeling it can make me tired. So, do you have anything that could, spruce me up in the middle of a fight?
In the middle of a fight?
Ration.
Oh,
Yeah,
ration.
we want you to
No, a snack. I need a snack for the battle.
go to the front lines. Some orders.
Well, the wonderful thing about being in this island chain is oranges are easy to find. I could give you some sliced oranges for your mid-battle snack.
Ooh.
That is the best.
Do they come with a
snack
participation trophy at the end?
No, I don't think so. I think if you win, you win. If you participate, well, if you lose, then you're probably dead.
Oh, good point. Good point.
The question is, if a combat were to happen, if there were to be some enemies from Gildenbro and their spicy foods, would it be a cook-off? I could deal with them. If they were to draw weapons toward us, would you be able to protect me?
We will install a lock on the kitchen door. And
Lock her in.
no, she can lock herself in
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
desire. You don't have to use it, but just if things start getting difficult, you can bar the door. And then, I've got my axe. I like using it. We got one guy who really, really enjoys punching people. Like a lot.
Do you think he'll enjoy punching me if I don't serve him food that he likes?
Oh yeah.
She kind of cringes. Like,
He,
Oh yeah.
I want to say no, but he has stabbed me over a plate of
Oh
eggs
no, you don't
before.
say that, Zill.
I can't guarantee it, but if he does, I'll punch him back for you.
But you seem to be built of a firmer constitution.
Which is why, if he wants to throw any more punches, I'll be in the way.
But that means I still have to take a punch.
Hopefully not. Your cooking smells amazing. I don't think he'll not like it.
Oh, I hope so.
Basically, as long as he has food, he's happy. Just if he asks for more, give him more. Don't take anything away from him, and
But
you
you-
should be okay.
But you asked me how good I am with rationing, and I'm good at it, but if
No,
I'm giving
no.
extras...
Not with rationing, with making rations. They're different.
Oh, I understand.
Also, can you make us a dish right now using ostrich tenderloin?
You mean
and
Axbeak?
snack-
Axbeak is actually
Yeah,
illegal to eat on this island.
What about
Oh,
octopus?
octopus.
Oh,
Yes, that's what I meant. Octopus,
yes.
cauliflower, pork rinds, and matcha. Work your magic.
You've got 5 minutes.
Oh, there's not enough time! And she goes, I don't even know if I have this.
You have 30 minutes.
Okay. She goes around and she she like gathers everybody that's like part of her crew and is like, okay, this is like the meal that we have to prep. This is everything that we have to do. Go find the ingredients. But you have to make sure I'm the one who cooks this meal. Just grab me the ingredients. I only have 30 minutes. Let's show them what I've got. And she goes
And if
ahead.
anyone else wants to compete, feel free to join in.
Maybe Waffle wants to compete.
Waffle does not want to compete.
Oh.
About 30 minutes elapses, and she actually brings out a very interesting dish. It's a kind of a salad. It's like an octopus and like steamed pork rind, and it has like this like matcha sauce that like is kind of like drizzled over the top of it. That's slightly sweetened a little bit by like a balsamic like vinaigrette. Really delicious, and she places it in front of you. I'm gonna have each of you, as you try it, make a wisdom skill check for me.
13.
11.
Zill, this tastes delicious. You don't know, like, you've never had octopus before, you've never tried, you're just like, oh my gosh, this is way better than what I've had back home. And Luxalia, as you taste this, you see that there are a decent number of, a decent number of textures that are within this, and it's very pleasing to the palate. The one thing that you are most impressed with is how she was able to turn something that is so bitter like matcha and make it just sweet enough to not overpower the dish, but also blend enough to make a perfect umami with the rest of the seafood and pork that is in this. It is very delightful indeed.
This is literally the third best cooking I've ever had.
What's the first and second? And she looks like she's about ready to cry.
This,
It was in
don't listen to her. Don't listen
the
to this.
royal courts
Is amazing.
of Silverwood. But
I've never tasted something so delightful in my life.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, Master.
But they also were working with better ingredients, so like, it's not your fault. You would have done better in this situation than them. They're there.
Well, that makes me happy to hear.
Yeah.
It depends, though. I'm glad you liked the cooking, but it would take a little bit of convincing and probably a little more poor pay than what I make in order to force me to leave this job. I do like it. Willie is a interesting individual, that's for sure, but and sometimes I am not paid what I am rightfully due. Just, he's a little bit spacey of a man, but if you're willing
What is
to...
your current pay?
Well, my current pay is, every day I make about 8 ES per day. 8 Evershill.
We can give you 1 EC per day.
EC? How deep are your pockets, master?
Very.
The
Plus, if
mingling
you
across
kill
the way.
anyone,
We
you get the spoils.
I don't want to kill anyone. I just want to knock them dead with my amazing cooking.
Great.
And then
we
cook
are
them.
planning on going
What
on
spoils will
some
I get from that?
adventures that will hopefully bring us some reward?
She slams her hand down on the counter with this like very like shocked look, and she looks at both of you. Wait, before I accept your offer, you're not pirates, are you?
No. We're not. No, we're Eclaas.
We actually, the boat we have, we got from protecting Flamberge, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Flamberge.
From pirates.
Pirates.
So we're exactly
Oh.
the opposite of pirates.
But I will be on a pirate ship.
No, an ex-pirate ship.
It's now a very respectable, baptized Alamian ship.
Well, that sounds
Long
quite
as
exciting.
That is the name.
Oh, when do you plan on leaving? I need to put in my notice.
Soon.
Well, there's no time like the present. Just come get me when you're ready. And she runs off and, I accept your offer, by the way. And then as she leaves, she's telling everyone, I'm going to work on an old pirate ship. I'm going to be working with Eeas. And, like, she's, like, telling everybody everything.
Yeah, get it, Remy.
Remy, 1 EC per day as a cook.
So go ahead and add Remy as your cook.
Right.
Be ashamed to go through all that and not get her as a cook.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta tell you, oh man, you guys had me dying. It might just because I'm late. It's late, but oh, made my day, guys. Thank you.
That's good. What was the name of the engineer?
Holy,
Tully, Tully.
you know, like the coffee brand here in Japan, Tolly's Coffee.
Speaking of which, Belbin and Yuki, what position are you going to be finding?
We're finding the commander, right?
First mate?
Yeah.
Captain.
First mate? Technically, you guys are the captain.
Ah, yes. First mate.
Oh. Yeah, Luxilli must have meant first mate. So, Yuki, here's what I'm thinking
Yes.
with the finding a first mate.
Mhm.
Keeping Luxali's requirements in mind.
Yes. Flowing hair.
Yes, I say we
Kirk.
try to find the most dashing man in this room and see if he is a mate. So, you're the girl.
What?
Point to me the most attractive man in the room, and I will see. I can do the talking.
Okay.
Make a wisdom skill check for me, Yuki.
Well, I mean, okay. Yuki's not gonna even be paying attention to how he looks as far as like dashing. Just looks like to see someone who can do the job well. So that would be a 12.
You scan the room, and it takes you a little bit. You're looking based off of appearance, but at the same time, you're also looking about like, who knows their way around a boat? And you kind of scan here and there, and as you do so, the looks kind of fall by the wayside, and you're like, okay, I have no idea. I'm just gonna look for someone who knows like what they do. And you walk up to a kind of a corner booth, and there is a man who is sitting there, and he is kind of reclined back against the wall. And he has like a cup in his hand, and he's actually got this eye patch too. And you can hear this tapping. He has like this really thick beard, and you hear this tapping, and the tapping seems to be coming from underneath the table. From what you could guess, this man also has a peg leg.
Yes. Belvin, I think this is the guy. Just look at him. Just look at him, Belvin.
Is his name Dan Crenshaw?
All right, I'll approach our peg-legged friend and say, "Hey, mate, how's it going?"
Oi! Avasti, what do you wish to talk about with me these days? Here! And he just
Well.
as he does so, you like startle him, and he like spills his like drink all over him.
And Yuki whispers.
And he
to
takes his
Belvin,
beard and he like dabs
He's
like with
high.
his beard.
He's high. Pay him whatever he wants.
So, my friendly man, I was told by 2 women to come over here and talk to the most dashing-looking man in this room. And they
Aye,
said
what
come
women
over
are
to
ye be
you.
talking about? And he scans
Well,
around, like, expecting.
2
With his
that
one eye.
you may potentially be looking or working with.
Aye. What kind of job, per se?
Well, you ever been a first mate before? What about second mate?
First mate. I've been a captain, I see.
Well, how about this? We'll give you a demotion to first mate. But here are the perks. You'll meet lots of new friends. We'll pay you a lot of money. We'll show you the world. We'll help you perfect your trade. Really, it's not even a job. It's more of an adventure. You get to talk to all the pretty girls on the ship. Help us sail a little
You're
bit.
telling me the ship that you have here has a bunch of ladies on board?
We have multiple ladies on board.
Aye.
Majority of them. I can't
interesting.
speak for all of them. Single and ready to mingle. Some used to, yeah. You don't worry about their past lives.
The name is Captain Balthazar.
Captain
Yo,
Balthazar,
that's
with
a
a name like that. Yeah.
I used to be the captain of a ship called the Sea Siren. About 5 years back, I lost her in a storm along with my crew. And I've been here on Takai Town, saved by sea turtles that have brought me back here. I've been looking for a job, you see, and unfortunately, jobs seem to be far and few in between for someone such as myself. And I say, they're missing out. I have quite experience at sea. Years, 20 or more in the trade. If only I can work my way up to get my own ship again someday, I'll be sailing them seas. Fighting off all swashbucklers, cutthroats, and getting myself some booty in the process.
Oh, what kind of booty are you talking about? Yuki backs up 2 steps.
Gold.
Well, how about this? At the end of our adventure, when we're all done, you can just have our ship.
What?
We'll help make your dream come true.
Belvin,
You have a
Belvin,
ship.
Belvin. I think
A
that's
proper ship.
I think that's a little much, Belvin. I think he's only the first mate after all. No offense. No offense.
I haven't taken a job yet.
After we save the world, we don't have no need for the ship.
Well, let's speak for yourself, Belvin. We could just get him another ship if we save the world. We'll be powerful in the world, right? We'll have
We can
all the
give
influence.
ourselves a ship then. We can give
Can, but
Captain Balthazar this.
I think Captain Balthazar understands that you can't just give your beloved ship away. Once yours, always yours, and will always be your baby.
It's not what
Right,
the,
Belvin?
Wise words
the
she
bloody bosun
speaks.
said to us.
The bloody bosun was the bloody bosun.
And
Look
immediately
how you know.
he interrupts you. Aye, the bloody bosun. I have a story about him that will make your skin curdle.
Well, so does he, and Belvin points to
His
Belvin's
skin's already
chain.
curdled from being dead for a week now.
Isn't his head on your freaking belt?
Oh yeah, check out this. If you like the bloody bosun, maybe we shouldn't hire you. Unless you're
Aye.
any of them.
The bloody bosun is a menace of these seas, and he looks... 'Tis him indeed. I've had many a battle with the bloody bosun, and always the stalemate. But you have something mighty rare indeed. And he pulls out a cutlass, and he lifts up one of the locks of hair on the bloody bosun. And on the lock of hair, there is a coin that hangs from it, a golden coin. This here is a piece of 8. And he cuts it off and it falls down onto the table.
Who is this guy? Dear Lord. Oh, sorry. I know his name.
There are 8 Corsair lords that sail these seas, and each of them have a piece of 8. It is said whoever controls all 8 of these pieces controls the seas. And even those who have perished to a watery grave will heed their word for a time. But these are just stories indeed, and keep this. If we are to sail together and collect such pieces, I do say my dream as a captain or even as a first mate would be made a reality.
Well,
Sounds
maybe
like-
we don't have to give you a ship, but you know what? You can have these pieces of 8. That sounds great to me.
However, if you could become too powerful and evil with those, then we're gonna have to come and kill you.
Yeah.
It's just part
Hey,
of
what happened to him?
saving the world,
Ralph
you
will do
know?
that to you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Aye. Yes, keeping the power in check. Very important indeed if you want to be captain. Speaking of which, who is the captain of your ship?
Why isn't
Right
it
now,
obvious?
it's me. Isn't it obvious, as Yuki said?
Aye.
Punches him in the shoulder in a playful, non-damaging way. Balbin, come on now. We haven't talked about it. It's a 4-way effort. Thordain doesn't count.
Yeah, he's drunk.
I did have some good rum. It's really good rum here.
How could you have a proper ship without having a proper captain? You must decide amongst yourselves who I will be serving.
Yes. Well, if you're as experienced as you say, you will be. You will have the freedoms that you need that would traditionally come with captain, probably.
Oh.
I like the words of that. Tell me, what pay would you offer such a experienced sailor?
Yeah,
Make a wisdom check for me first.
Who?
Belvin.
Back to rolling garbage. Let's see.
But Yuki
Alright.
says, but what about the pieces of 8? Isn't that what you wanted?
But a pay. That's always good. I told you one of my goals is to have booty. If you could give me
Yuki
some
takes another step
booty.
back.
Well, we have. Let me remind you that we do have women on board.
Dear Lord.
Are they willing
How
to
you
pay? Are they willing to pay an old captain for the works that he does, or is the captain willing to pay?
You will have to ask them.
And Yuki
Aye.
like, okay, all right. How much?
I rolled-
How much is a first mate's kind of duty?
Zill first. Or not Zill, Belbin first.
Oh, I rolled a 9. For wisdom.
9. From the looks of him, he absolutely looks like a veteran sailor. He's not just like looking the part. Like everything that he says, everything that he's talking, it's like, I've heard about pirates. This guy is straight up a pirate. So you don't doubt like he would be really good at what he
Remy
does.
and him will get along well, I think.
Well, one more question before we discuss price.
Aye.
How do you feel about when we get into some skirmishes? How are you? What's the weapon of choice? Are you a good? Can you defend yourself?
Well, you see this here. His sword is still out from chopping the hair off of the bosun. Well, you see this here. This peg leg might hinder me as far as my movements, but it has not stopped my skill with the blade. Trust me, I'm still quite as lethal as I was in my younger days.
All right, all right.
I can hold my own if that's what you're asking.
How much you want to be paid?
Aye, fair price. He thinks about it. Make a influence skill check for me, and this could be made with hope because of Yuki.
Yuki is cheering him on. She is so impressed by Belbin right now that...
That was sorry. You said influence.
Yeah, influence.
Jeez, the hope didn't help.
Natural
6.
16, right?
6.
Nope.
6. I would say 4 AC per day.
4 AC per day.
Can Yuki pipe up?
If you
wanna
want.
pipe up, you can pipe up.
I want to pipe up. Well, 4 AC, that sounds like a fair price for a valuable first mate. However, as Belbin did say, there is quite the amount of booty on board, as well as...
Booty that's free for the taking.
Oh, I don't know about that. See, maybe you'll have to ask, but...
Again,
so-
who is my captain that I am going to be asking for this booty?
Balthazar, let's talk real quick.
It's Captain Balthazar.
First mate,
Soon to be
excuse me.
first mate.
Aye,
Balthazar.
that'll take some
Demotion,
getting
remember?
used to.
4 EC for someone of your skill sounds fair.
Aye,
However,
I'm nothing but
if
a
we're-
fair businessman.
If we're collecting the 8 coins of the sea so that you can control the sea, plus you get our ship at the end,
No,
4
Belbin!
EC is sounding a little steep. How about
I will tell you, one of the treasure troves that I stumbled across back in my day before it fell all the way down to Davy Jones' locker. Mountains of gold, chests of gold. EC, silver. It's nothing for a pirating life.
all right? How about this? How about anyone you kill, you can take whatever you want off of them.
Dear Lord.
With my 4 EC per day.
3 EC.
You drive
3
a hard
EC.
bargain.
The 8 coins and then the ship.
Not the
When
ship.
all said
Not
and
the
done.
ship. If she tells him, not the ship, that ship. We'll get you your own ship.
Aye. If what you say is true, both of you, I think we're going to have a wonderful partnership. And he holds out his hand.
Yuki spits in her hand and grasps it.
Without any further note, he goes, ha ha, a shake of gentlemen. And he does the same back.
Oh, and Yuki is appalled, but she's fine with it. And she says, do you happen to know any, crew members that you may know that you trust, that are good for the rigging, that are good for...
My crew has vanished, and as I had mentioned, it's been difficult for me to get a job since I've been here these past 5 years. I will not be any help, but if you've gathered a crew, I can boss them around for you. Tell them what to do. Show them the way around the ship.
All right. Sounds like a good deal to me. We'll work on getting you
Aye.
a crew. We'll find you here.
Aye. When do we
Aye.
depart?
You depart soon.
Aye.
We'll let
Shall
you
I
know.
expect you here then?
Yes, we'll
Yes.
come here. We'll stop by when we're going to...
I stop by every afternoon after 2 p.m. What I do with my time is none of your business. But I stay here after 2 p.m.
Cool.
Aye.
Later.
Off to Luxalia and Zil. Oh, by the way, add Captain Balthazar to your...
Balthazar. You mean first mate Balthazar. Excuse me.
Add him to your list of your first mate.
What is he
Four
human?
AC?
I'm
He's a
guessing?
human. Yeah, he's a human.
All right.
4 AC, what we agreed to?
3 EC, the 8 coins of the sea, and the ship at the end of the adventure. Don't worry, Yuki. I have a feeling he'll be dead before we get to this.
That doesn't make it.
That's so
Just
mean.
push him overboard.
He can't swim very well. He's only got one leg.
My friends are sea turtles.
He uses his back hair, I'm sure, to weave them together, too. Good stuff. Oh.
All right, Luxalia and Zill, what position are you going to look for next? So you have the bosuns, you have the riggers, you have the medics, quartermasters, and lookouts still left.
Let's find the bosun.
Okay.
Okay.
You know battle, and I know strong men.
I see.
As you investigate to look for somebody of the type, what are you planning to do? Are you just going to like look to see like how they look, or are you going to like? Well, what's the dealio here? How are you trying to find
I'm
this
looking
person?
for muscles.
Okay, Zill, what are you doing?
I'm looking for someone who has bosun like fixes stuff, right?
No, bosun's like the
They're
weapons
like the
guy.
weapons master.
Someone with a lot of scars. Looking for some scars.
Okay. Go ahead, both of you make wisdoms checks for me.
Come on, baby.
Ooh. That one.
Oh, baby.
Don't worry, I've got you covered.
Preferably
Oh,
someone who sounds
wisdom.
like Sylvester Stallone.
18.
18. Wow. Holy crap. Yes, you look around, and at first, actually, Luxalia, as you kind of look over all of these very strong-looking dudes, because there's quite a few of them. You could tell, like, a lot of these people spend their lives, like, hard, laborious work. So a lot of them have that, and a decent number of them, Zill, have scars as well. One actually does take your interest, Zill. It's the lone Heroxin that is sitting in the corner. And he, well, not corner, but he's kind of like sitting in the middle of the room, and everybody has cleared out from around him. And he's gruff. You approach him, and he goes, "Oi, get out here!" You don't even understand quite what he's saying, and he dismisses you immediately. You look around, and Luxalia, for some reason, you're drawn to this actually almost like brightening presence that's on the second floor. You follow kind of the stairs upward, and you see sitting like by a window looking out with a basically a saucer plate and like a small looking almost like British little tea set cup. He's sitting there, and he's dressed completely in what looks to be like a seafaring military uniform. And he's got a number of weapons that are strapped to him. He's got a sword at his side. He actually has a hand axe as well. And he has a bow slung across his back with a quiver as well. He's someone who's very well equipped, very proper. This is actually an elf, and if you would have to guess, this is an elf probably from Hightower.
Ooh, fancy elf.
Said he had a hand axe.
He does have hand axe, yeah.
Oh, so
like
we
him.
found. Did we find different people?
As you were looking, like, Zill was completely dismissed by the Heroxin. And I'm assuming he followed you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Hello, good sir. How are you today?
Ah. Good afternoon, madame. And he puts his cup down and on the table, and he kind of, like, puts it into place and organizes it. He's very prim and proper, and he takes his hands and he folds them in front. How could I be of service of you today?
Well, I see a distinguished gentleman like yourself is enjoying a nice spot of tea.
Yes, indeed.
I, myself, do love me some tea. And so I thought maybe we could, get to know each other.
Get to know each other in what regard? And he kind of picks like a lint off of his not dismissively, and like kind of like flicks it off, like almost like he's like very concerned about like his appearance. And what he looks at, he says, in what regard? Are we doing this as friends? Are we doing this as a business dealing? I like to be upfront about who I'm talking with. And
Of course. I like a man who knows what he wants.
yes.
Well, I am looking for a bosun our ship, but also someone who we could get along with, as we are the captains of the ship.
Ah, a bosun.
Yes, and you look like you know what you're doing with a bow.
Ah ha ha, I see.
Done.
I see what you did there, indeed. Well, you see, a bosun, I've spent much of my life on ships. In fact, 250 years of my life on ships. My earlier
Right,
years...
I really like him.
My earlier years, I was at Fulton Rock. Perhaps you've heard of it. I was an arms dealer at Fulton Rock. Made myself quite a bit of coin doing the things that I do. But once I was bored doing that, and had my fair share of that, I decided to venture the world, bringing me here to Decay Town. I've been to and fro, up and down the inland sea, all the way from the farthest reaches of the western continent of Everlast, all the way to the east. And yet I have not found an adventure that would be able to excite me anymore these days. Tell me, you're looking for a bosun for what quest, per se?
What is our quest, you ask? To
Yes,
find
indeed.
the Holy Grail. Just kidding. It's
We're going to the fashion fair, and the men, I forget where they're at, but
Fashion
that is
fair.
one step towards
Northern Rock.
our ultimate goal, which is defeating the arch-demons that rule over this world in bad ways.
Are you talking about the old religious texts that talk about demons and the end times?
Oh yes, and we've already killed one of them, so they're real.
Have
I'm
you?
wearing
Cape.
This cape is his wing.
Yeah.
I'm very
Can
proud of it.
Can I see such a odd object?
Of course.
You can look at it, but don't take. I got my eyes on you.
Hmm. Well, you don't have to worry about me stealing such oddity. And he looks at it, investigates it. He kind of runs his hand like through like the feathers. As this is like a cape, it's very interesting. And he takes a moment and he like feels, and you can see Zill. I'm gonna have you make a mana check, or not a mana check, a elemental check for me.
Good luck. Good luck.
15.
15. You can tell that a little bit of energy from this wing kind of gets transferred a little bit to this elf in his hand. I don't like the feel of this. This is something that I have not come across in all of my travels. You've
That would
piqued
make
my
sense.
interest.
Our adventures are like no other. We are Eclaas, and we sail upon Alomnia's breath towards a brighter future.
I like it.
Eeas.
Yes.
The name is Finn. And he opens his hand to offer, basically, like, very properly, to offer kind of like a handshake to both of you. Like, one, first to Luxalia, then to Zill.
Yes.
Tell me, you say you're here to save the world. So what does that make you? Some kind of heroes?
You could say that.
Heroes!
Yes.
You said that.
What principles do you live by?
I live by the light of Alomnia. I am a shrine maiden of Amaterasu. And my greatest desire is to live charitably towards those around and to learn how to be at the service and how I can better basically love of Alomnia and this world. So fighting against evil and yeah, just bringing about good where I can.
A religious do-gooder. And what about you, sir?
Well, I don't like people being mean, so I try to stop that. I take care of those who are important to me as best I can. Yeah.
Well, you see, I've studied the religious texts myself, as it is required reading of us elves as we mature and come of age. And I do have to say that quite a bit of good does come from those texts. These days, however, the High King is much more concerned with progress than perhaps religious tradition, but I do find myself drawn to these traditions, and I do believe your fight to be noble. I do believe your fight to be something that does pique my interest, quite a good adventure. I've spent my years traveling these seas. I've spent my years fighting off wicked things, wicked people. And none of it has quite proven a challenge. What I seek is a challenge. And if you could promise that I would have such a thing on an adventure upon, what did you say, Alamnia's breath?
Yes.
Well, that would be
Well-
breathtaking to me.
You want a challenge, you say?
Challenge indeed.
Well, we've fought golems, we've fought goblins, we've cleaned out cults, we've fought sorcerers, we've fought literal demons, we've fought Mechatron thingies, we've protected the Earth Pillar, I had a delightful conversation with Smoldrin the other day.
Smoldrin, you say?
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Ah. You are the most fascinating people that I've met here in quite a few years. Do continue to impress. However, what do you wish to pay for my services? They do not come cheap, you know.
So, about 2 EC a day.
Would you agree on these terms? And he looks to you, Luxalia.
Yes. And, before, it sounds like you are well accomplished, especially in the ways of war, and a man who has lived a long time.
Indeed.
Would you say that your heart is restless? Because to me, it seems that it is. That this is why you seek more.
My heart restless, perhaps, but it seems the one thing that's most restless is my, sword arm.
Because I will say this. I have lived not quite as long as you, but a life of depravity and a life of emptiness before I met Alomnia. And honestly, I think I know what you feel. I've met many others whose hearts are just as restless, just as much desiring a challenge. And what I have found is you won't ever find true peace until you have found something worth fighting for. Until you have found the one true thing to let your heart rest in. And so I believe that in journeying with us, you will have that opportunity not only to build that relationship with Alomnia and let your heart rest with him, but in doing so to fight for something worth fighting for.
Yes. Do you understand, Lady Luxalia, what my job as a ship's bosun is?
Yes, you are in charge of the firearms and the armaments of the ship.
That is
Making
part
sure
of
that
it.
We are well defended.
Yes. Many think that... Well, I've caught many glances throughout my long years, my long life, of people who look down on me because they look at me as someone who causes destruction. Perhaps. But my job as a bosun of a ship is to defend and to protect the lives of those on it from evil and wicked beings. I do not serve evil and wicked beings, which is why I ask you, what drives you? I find your answer acceptable. I can agree to 2 EC per day, and you have found yourself a bosun for your adventures.
Wonderful.
Right.
Pleasure, Finn.
I
We will
put
be
out my
setting
hand.
sail soon. So stay tuned.
Ah, where shall I meet you at such a time?
Perhaps right here, outside, just right here. We'll come get you.
Right here.
Yeah.
Every day I shall come down here, and I shall wait. I sit at this table, I look out this window. And now that I know I have adventure to look forward to, I look forward to seeing your return. And he takes a sip of his
See
tea.
anything good outside the window?
Nothing but the beautiful waves that caress the boats in the docks.
Okay.
Oh, how I desire to set sail again. And by hiring me, you hire the martial prowess of Hightower.
Yes, we do.
Great.
We are
Yes.
literally a United Colors of Bantown ad on this boat. It's great.
True.
What was the name of the first mate again?
Balthazar.
Balthazar.
Balthazar, that was right.
I tell ya, we might as well just like get a bunch of just like nice sweaters that are very colorful, and just maybe get a photo shoot to put on the cover of a magazine.
What was this elf's name?
Finn. Finn.
So Belbin, are we going to find the riggers? Sounds like a rigorous task ahead.
I mean, I was looking for an easy one. I was thinking if we go for a lookout, we can just walk up to a party across the room and see who sees us first and hire them as the lookout.
Yeah, that might be
It's
a
up
good.
to you, though.
That might be good. You know what? I like where your head's at today, Belbin. I think I'll follow you.
Alrighty, let's. Did you see that group way over there across the room?
Yuki looks. She peers. Does she see the group across the room?
Make a wisdom check.
Okay. That's a 5.
5. You do.
No.
I
You
do?
see,
Oh, wow.
you see a group across the way, but one person in particular is almost like staring daggers into you.
I like it. And she says to Belbin, are you talking about that person right there?
I look. I see her too. Let's walk over. So we'll walk over. Say, hey, is it a guy or a girl?
It's a girl.
Stop.
Hey, girl.
She kind of
You saw me
scooches.
from
She kind of
across the room.
scooches away, like this.
You want a job as a lookout for our ship?
You pique her interest a little bit.
Skip all the small talk, skipping all that. We'll pay you 1 EC a day to ride in the crow's nest.
And Yuki looks at her and says, you seem to have a sharp eye. Hopefully it could be of use other than staring daggers at me.
Is
She
in
kind
the
of
group,
tilts her head.
or is it just her?
It's kind of just her. There's a few people that are sitting at her table, but you can tell like they're not speaking to her really.
Okay.
You don't know if she's part of this group, but they're at the same table, so she's not talking or joining the conversation at all. And this whole time, as you have spoken to her, like she hasn't really responded. She's like reacted physically to the things that you've done, but she hasn't really responded as she looks at the two of you.
If it helps sweeten the deal, we can hire some of your friends at this table too. But we want you. You with the eyes.
We want you. We want you as a new recruit.
What makes you think that I want to ride a boat?
Nothing. The offer's on the table though. If you want an adventure.
Make an influence check.
Ooh, that's a nat 16, baby.
Nat
Yo, freaking Belbin!
It's either literally like a 3 or a 16 today.
It's
that's
feast
it.
or famine.
Yeah. I know you want to ride on this ship now.
She smiles actually, like it's very strange. Like the smile is like very elegant, and it is a as she like kind of lowers her hood, she reveals this like dark brown flowing hair. She looks to be an elf of the woodland realm, and she's got a bow, and she's actually what you can tell dressed as a ranger, very actually in similar fashion to Thordane.
So
I was gonna
is-
say-
are we gonna get a match made with Thordane? Is Thordane anywhere near us?
He's at the bar,
Can I
like
call him?
across the room.
Can I call him over?
See your woodland elf. We got a friend.
No. She says as you like call someone over. Both of you kind of examine like the way that she's reacting to this. Yuki, you're a little bit distracted. Belbin, Yuki, I'm gonna have you make wisdom skill checks, but Yuki, yours is gonna be at despair.
10.
It's a natural one.
Yeah, you have no idea. You're just calling Thordane over.
Thordane,
Um,
Thordane, another woodland elf.
Belbin, you see that she is quite uncomfortable, and you can tell isn't necessarily socially awkward, but like is not used to like people just approaching her. This is odd. You can tell that she's just like quiet in nature, but she doesn't really know what to make of this situation. Someone just came up to her, offered her a job, and now they're calling more people over. She says, though, however, with your influence check, your offer is tempting, but you must be mistaken. I've never set foot, well, at least as far as a crew member of a ship in my entire life. I might have a good eye, I might have a good aim, but my eyes have been used for the forests of the woodland realm. I'm not gonna discuss with you why I am here in Takai Town, but I'm no crew member to a ship, you see.
Neither am I. I've never sailed on a ship either before 30 minutes ago.
Huh.
Neither have I as well. But we have a really good captain. His name is Balthazar, and he's got a peg leg.
Ah, I see. Do tell me, what do you plan on hiring me for? What do you plan on going? Where's your purpose?
Well, I think you'd ride up on the highest shelf of the crow's nest. Let me double check this. Yeah, you're just in the crow's nest looking for enemies, making sure you're the one the guy on the ship that says like land ho, you know.
And so our specific mission actually is we are actually quite a big deal. We are the holders of something quite special, and we are sent out on a task in order to gather the powers of Folden Rock and oh gosh, where's the Fashion Fae place?
Fashion Fae.
Fashion Fae. We need to bring we need to bring them together back to Flomberge. So we are emissaries of sorts.
Trying to save the world.
Oh, saving the world. She thinks. She's very thoughtful, and as she thinks, and there's a little bit of a silence. Thordane walks over.
Yes. Thordane's like,
I'm gonna
yes,
first have you make a Constitution survival check for me. This is going to be made with hope, since he is an elf. So
Is this for Thordane or you?
Thordane.
Well, that's a good thing. Is with hope. Constitution, you said?
Or a
Or
fortitude.
Fortitude.
Mm.
Who's got pretty good fortitude? 13, 14, 17, 18.
18.
Yeah.
He's like a little bit buzzed at best. Like he's doing pretty good. He comes over basically fully aware of everything that he's saying.
He's like, did you find anything of science? And Yuki's like, oh no, we just met this woodland elf. If you don't mind, what's your name? Just trying to be kind.
Sariel. Sariel. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. And she doesn't like offer like any like handshakes or anything, but she gives like Thordane a little bit of a nod.
And Thordane's like, oh, why, of course. It is good to see another elf. Is this all you needed me for, Yuki? Yuki's like, well, I just thought you two would get along very well. I mean, it's not often you see woodland elves, and Thordane's like, nice to meet your acquaintance. And he goes back to the bar. He does not care.
And she says, did you say that he's a woodland elf?
Yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he's told us many times, right, Pebble?
I think so. Yeah. We met him in the woods.
In the Underdark.
Yeah.
There's something odd about him.
I know.
That's just his personality. Yeah.
He likes science.
Is he one of our companions?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's very good with a bow sometimes, and he.
Oh. She smiles again. Perhaps as good as I am. We'll see about that.
Yeah, I think you're probably better. Just
He's
better outside of battle. We'll say that.
He can track things well. He's a very good lookout. Maybe you and him will get along quite well.
Well, it seems your desires are just in the things that you're trying to do. I can serve as a lookout, use my sharp vision, and I can protect you as best as I can. I cannot promise that I will be a perfect crew member, as this is something that I've never done in my time. But if you need me for my eyes and for my bow arm, for 1 EC a day, I look forward to working with you.
1 EC a day? I'm sure it'll keep the fear away. I'll think.
Surreal. We will keep it real till we're ready to go.
When will that time be?
Soon.
Soon.
We'll keep you posted. Next session.
Indeed. Yeah, so you've recruited Sariel. She's gonna be your lookout.
Nice. Maybe we'll get Thordane a girlfriend.
Everything for her.
Matchmaker. Alright.
You're right. I mean, I just feel like Thordane's not even gonna care. He just likes his science. Maybe we'll tell him it's for science.
How much
Alright.
are we
A
paying
girlfriend for science.
1 EC. Yeah, girlfriend for science. Haven't you
1
ever
EC.
wondered-
Yep.
Haven't you ever wondered in all your years here in Everlast? For
Okay.
science?
Luxalia, Zill, Rigger, Medic, or Quartermaster?
Medic!
Okay. How are you going about trying to find this medic?
Well, using all of my knowledge about medicine, I will see which person looks like they know stuff about medicine and ask around, and maybe I know! Zill! Quick! Fake an injury!
Ouch.
Great! I take his axe and cut him. You'll be fine! You'll be fine! Medic! I need a medic!
Make a charisma survival check for me.
Dear Lord.
Both of us, or?
Yeah, both of you.
10.
Charisma 17.
Ooh, boy. Yeah, you call out, and immediately a woman finds her way over. You guys are on the second floor as you kind of are looking for someone who knows medicine, and not too far away, actually, from where Finn was, a woman approaches the two of you and says, "Oh no, do tell me, where is he hurt?" And she kind of like crouches over him and like looks, and immediately her eyes look to his, where did you cut him?
I cut him in the obliques.
Oh, please. Very specific. All right. She says, all right. And she actually pulls out. She has kind of like this like pack that's like on the back, like a backwards fanny pack kind of. And she like pulls out like basically like a roll and then also kind of like this poultice that she begins to like rub in, to which it immediately burns a little bit. And then you feel like this like immediate relaxation. And she kind of starts to wrap a little bit with some cloth and says, there, that should do it. You do realize that I've never seen someone with quite the physique as you. Not to be rude, but you're quite strong and sturdy for someone of a young age. And she kind of like sits you like situates you to make sure like you're okay. Well, if you would excuse me. And then she looks as if she's about to. Yes.
Come back. We are in need of a medic aboard a ship. And I don't know what your situation is, but we pay, and it would be a great adventure. And I could learn much from you. I'm a wanting medic myself and just didn't think I could do this.
She's pretty good at healing, usually. Except when she cuts me.
No. It happens. You know, I'm sorry, I'm clumsy. But yeah, I really only heal through the grace and power of Alamnia. I don't know all this, what you just did. And I could learn a lot from you.
You study the ways of manic healing.
Yes.
It comes in handy very often.
Indeed. I actually studied under the tutelage of Lady Nyx Erendar. Perhaps you've heard of her.
No.
Yes, you've met her.
Yep.
You have met her.
have.
Way back in Helgentace. Way
been a while.
back in Helgentace. She was the, like, basically the high tower elf that studied. Basically, she's like the master healer in Hightower.
Yes.
Yes.
Wait, Zill wasn't there though.
Zill was not, so Zill will have no idea, but Luxalia was there.
Yeah. I've met her. She's great. It was
Have
a
you?
while ago. Yeah, maybe like 6 months ago. I don't know. Time's kind of fuzzy.
Yeah, it was probably a little over a year ago.
Okay.
Mm.
About a year ago. Yeah.
Wow, wonderful.
She's cool.
Yes, she is one of the greatest healers of our time, and it is in her practices that she teaches the ways of manic healing. This is a grace that comes from Alamnia. Not all those can, on this Everlast, can wield such power. The power of pure raw mana. Unfortunately, I am not one of those who have been gifted with such a wonderful ability. However, Everlast and Alamnia does provide, naturally, the abilities to be able to mend wounds, especially cuts, especially scrapes, and the ability to preserve those who are on the brink of death. I'm sorry, my name is Lyra. It is a pleasure to make your
Lyra.
acquaintance.
Likewise.
She
Hello,
is
madam.
additionally a high tower elf.
Wow. High rollers. Yeah, well, if you would like some adventure in your life, we can pay you 2 EC per day to be our onboard medic, keeping our crew healthy, and also, maybe I can learn a thing or two.
Tell me, what is your quest? Why do you ask such things? Most sailors will just do with any old run-of-the-mill healer, or at least those who claim to be. I find the many of the ships that go to and fro from this port just find some bandages, find some medic supplies, and they go. Why do you ask for someone of my skills and my talents?
We tend to get a little scuffed up often.
Do you seek trouble, or does trouble find you?
Bit of both. Bit of both.
But we don't seek trouble for trouble's sake. It's all in the name of Volomnia and destroying the evil forces which oppose him.
Yes.
Evil forces.
We're trying to fight demons, basically.
Yeah.
So brazen. So open. It's refreshing. I find a lot of these sailors around here. They all have different purposes, and it's very rare that I find two individuals of the same crew that have the same purpose, that have the same
There's 5
intent.
of us, and we're all have the same larger motive, even if some of the smaller motives can be more fluid.
Indeed.
We go
Trying to
by the
become
name
the
of...
world's best blacksmith.
That's true. And our name is Eclaas.
Ah, the
This is our
Senders.
love-
You've heard of us.
Yes, the Senders. I do believe that is the Alomnic tongue, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed it is.
It's a wonderful name that you've named yourselves. Perhaps I could offer my assistance. It seems your task is noble, and if it is for the greater glory of the free peoples of Everlast, and for the greater glory of Alomnia, as long as your quest stays as such, I find no problem lending a helping hand.
Oh, wonderful.
Hmm.
How much would you be willing to pay?
As I said, 1 EC a day. And room and board.
Make an influence skill check.
Make what skill check?
Influence.
Definitely said 1.
Influence is 11.
You see, I'm not particularly greedy, but someone of my skill set. If you are hiring, I couldn't go less than 2 EC per day, but do know that the things that I spend my money on do go to a good cause.
Amen, sister. Let's do it. 2 EC it is.
Right.
It'll be my pleasure.
I'm
When do
sorry,
we set sail?
guys. We set sail soon.
Okay. Soon.
So just stay put. There's a group of you that'll be waiting. We'll come and get you.
Indeed.
We're
Maybe
coming
tomorrow.
to get you.
Wonderful. So you got your healer. Her name is Lyra. She is a medic, high tower elf. Very, very skilled healer. Yeah, she seems to know what she's doing. So
Nice.
yeah, that's pretty good.
Nice.
Woo!
Which brings us to riggers and quartermasters. So Belbin and Yuki.
All right, Belbin, what do you think, buddy?
You have to cut me.
Rigor seems fairly easy.
Sorry,
It seems rigorous to me. I don't know.
but
Okay.
it worked.
But yes, I think we agree. I think you'd be good
Quartermaster,
at.
rigor,
Let's do rigor.
rigor it is.
I like it.
I have no ideas how to go about this.
Yeah, well,
I'm being
maybe
honest.
we can see men who seem very dexterous. Because I feel like you need to be very dexterous in order to rig things. When the ship's a moving and a rocking and a tilting. So
So are you
Hey,
going to
the
be
floor is
searching
lava.
by like looks alone, like just like kind of walking through the crowd and like looking
no,
at
you
people?
know what?
Like
Maybe,
what's the deal?
maybe we'll ask around maybe this time, seeing if there's anyone who is
Yuki,
who's known
what if
for it. Yeah, it's-
what if we just shout out in front of everyone? We are looking for some riggers.
I like the way you. I like the way you talk, Belvin. Today, Belvin, you're just full of good ideas.
Yuki, you have the voice. Why don't you go up on stage and announce it?
All right, I go up to the bar and I ask, is Willis there? What's his name?
Willis is
Willie.
there.
Willie.
Willis.
Go Good old Willie.
Willie, do you mind if I step up on the counter really quick? I need to make a quick announcement.
I don't mind at all. Take off your shoes, please.
All right, did I take off my shoes? And my feet are very clean for coming from here, so it should be okay, I think.
Okay.
And she steps up on top of the counter, and she says,
And as you step up on the counter, you feel like a crunchy, like something like peanuts or pretzels or something
Yes.
underneath your toes. It's a little bit sticky for maybe some spilled rum. It's
delicious.
Nice.
Delicious.
Nice.
And she clears her throat and she says, Gentlemen and ladies out there, we are looking for a rigger. We are off to set off on a wonderful, exciting adventure to far-off lands, and we need some people to help us rigger our boat. Rig it, and if anyone is interested, please come over to this gentleman right here. I know he's scary looking, but he doesn't bite, I promise.
Make an influence skill check for me.
Alright. Good thing I'm good at that. Good thing I'm good at that. Influence. Okay. So that would be a 14.
A 14. You call out, and like most people quiet down and like listen to what you have to say. A few people raise their hands, are like, "Oh, I can do it." And another guy's like, "Oh, well, what about me?" Oh, and then another person's like, "You're really hot." From the back, things like
Should
that.
be on the ship.
You'll have your fair share of booty if you partake.
You hear everybody in like a chatter. Booty? Did he just say booty? I like myself some booty. You're really getting the crowd going. And Willie, he says, I think it's time for you to get down, please. And he kind of like shoves you off, and like everybody is like abuzz, and there are actually a number of people that have come up to Belbin. Probably a good like 8 or 9 people. Belbin, make a wisdom skill check to try to see who of these people might be good, or if they're just coming for some booty.
Zooty.
Come for that booty.
I got a 13.
13. You look through some of these people. Clearly, there are a number of them. There are probably about like 3 of them that just like, they're not even sailors. They're just like dudes that are here. A couple of them just like, I don't know. Like one of them, their breath really stinks and it's just rubbing you the wrong way. There's another guy who, you know, you see and he has like these like shifty eyes, almost like these dark circles under his eyes. He's probably homeless from the looks of it. Probably doesn't look super
Belvin's
strong.
Telling me all of this, and I'm just gonna be acting as his bouncer. So as they come one by one, I'm like, "Yep, no. What do you think, Belvin? No, get out of here. Thanks for the audition. Didn't make the cut. Sorry. That kind of thing."
And it's down to 2 people. One person who is like, his eyes kind of like look like this at you, like a little bit like narrowed. You can't tell if it's quite focused or glazed over. And he kind of like moves his head back and forth, like you don't know if it's like a challenge or like what's going on. And then you see another man who is quite well old in his years. He's not like a grandpa, but he's like pretty old, and he's like pretty skinny, but you can tell like it's like he's just muscly, like from years and years on. He's kind of got like this like white, like kind of like scruffy patchy beard, and he's just like kind of looking like, and as he breathes, like there's like a whistle through his tooth.
Why are
These
you
are the
talking
2 to
about
choose
Belvin in
from.
5 years?
Which one of you
5
are willing
years.
to work for 1.5 EC a day?
They both look at each other. The man with the glazed over looks says, I'm willing to work for any amount. If you said there's booty on board.
How about for free then? You're hired.
And the other...
No, Belvin. Seriously, my good sir.
This is a business, Yuki. If he's willing to work for free on the promise of
What
business.
kind of work is the thing? What about you, old timer?
Well, I've worked on plenty of rigs in my life. In fact, I've been on so many ships they call me like I'm stuck to it. They call me Bill, Barnacle Bill.
Barnacle Bill. I think he was made for the sea, Belbin. Can you say one thing for me?
What do you want me to say?
Ka-chow.
Ka-chow.
Alright. I like him, Belbin.
Alright, you're hired.
Alright.
Thanks, Barnacle Bill.
You haven't even heard what I can do. I've got
I know what you can do.
years of
Better
experience.
than the competition. You're the last. You're our only hope.
Yippee! Yippee! And he goes around and he's just like, everybody, I got another job!
You
Can
can
we
think
see
we
this
might-
And every time he breathes, there's just like a whistle through his teeth.
I think we're gonna-
Everybody! And he goes up to it, Wheeler, fill it up, top it off for me. And he fills it with rum and he's just like, to all of us, to the sea, to life in the rafters, telling you the wind in my face, the wind in my sails. Oh, it's a great life. It's a great life to be a sailor. And he's just this whole time, he's just like breathing in and out and whistling through his teeth.
Poor Sario.
And and as he's doing this, the other guy, he's just still standing there, not honestly, and he's just kind of like looking like as if he hasn't like heard anything.
Sir,
Barnacle
sir,
Bill.
what's your name?
They call me Dave.
Dave, you want to be a quartermaster?
No. No. You know what, Dave? I think he needs. I think he needs some food. All right. I show him over to a table and sit him down, and I order food from the kitchen for him. Obviously, I'm not gonna.
Are you the booty that they're offering? Did I get the
Yes.
job?
No, you
Only if you want to be
misunderstand.
quartermaster.
Booty is treasure, my good sir. Treasure.
Treasure booty, other booty. I'm coming for it either way.
Zooty, I understand. All
And
right.
he is like double fisting what looks to be like tankards of this guy's clearly like super drunk. Super duper drunk.
Dave, you need some help, my good sir. And I write down an address for him in Tokai Town. You should go here. It's to the Domono Onsen. It's to the what's her name?
Kalisha.
Kalisha. Maybe you should talk to her.
About
Dig
what?
inside yourself a little bit. You know?
About what?
Just open up about anything, my good
I'm
sir.
pretty sure 80% of me's rum at this point.
Sober up and go see her.
Do
By
I
the
need
way,
someone to
Belvin,
dig inside myself?
You know who I think would make a really good quartermaster, Belbin?
Yes.
What's her name? I forget her name. Your friend,
Shada.
Shada.
Yeah, maybe if she's still here. That's not a bad idea.
What does quartermaster do? I don't remember what quartermaster does.
Quartermaster is the one who is in charge of making sure everything on the ship is ship shape, which also includes tracking down and making sure that the ship is fully stocked when they go to land, and make sure everyone's doing their job.
And maybe she could be like an assistant quartermaster.
These decks need swabbing.
That's true. Maybe you could go and ask her afterwards, Belbin. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Maybe I'll try
Alright.
to find her.
But first we need to find a quartermaster. To Belbin and Luxalia.
Or, yeah, Luxalia and Zil.
Sorry, Luxalia and Sil.
How much are we paying Barnacle Bill?
1.5
EC a day.
Pretty good for an old man whistling with his tooth.
I know. More than I wanted to pay him, but
Why did you offer that much?
because I was afraid after seeing the first guy that
Smart thinking, Belvin. I'm
after
happy.
seeing Dave, yeah, Dave got him a raise.
Yippee! You can hear Luxalia and Zill. You see that everything below. There's like a small little railing that you can like look over, and there's this just like old man. He's kind of basically he's got like this patchy beard, and you don't really hear a lot of the conversation. He wears like these high water like overalls. And he's got like basically like a wife beater kind of like shirt on under, but again, he is like still like lean but like strong, but he's kind of like hunched over like this, and he's just like yippee-ki-yay! And he's just like jumping up and down.
It's literally a United Colors of Pentatonic ad. What kind of crew are we hiring? It's a
Who knows?
representation.
We'll find out.
I guess, yeah, it's gonna be a great bunch.
Okay.
Good luck role playing all that, Kyle.
Well, yippee-ki-yay! It'll be a wonderful time. Quartermasters. How are you guys looking for this quartermaster?
I say we just start littering and see who starts picking it up.
Okay. I'm gonna have you do this and have both of you make stealth checks for me.
All right.
You're gonna get a literal janitor as our quartermaster.
To no one's surprise, Zill gets a nat 1.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh no.
It's okay. 2 nat 16, 2 nat 1s.
Stealth 9.
9. So the two of you get together and plan. It's like, how are we gonna do this? Oh, let's just start littering and seeing if someone's gonna start picking up after us. Zill, you just go over to a table and you just go boom, and you just like throw everything off. You hear someone just be like, "Hey, I was going to get my food," as this happens. Luxalia, you just sort of like, and you just like find like some napkins and like put it on the floor. No one really notices that you're doing this, as Zill has made this big distraction. Nobody's come to clean it up, but there's kind of a ruckus from the guy who threw his drinks and stuff all over the ground.
Plan B. I'm gonna go up to Willie and say, "Hey, Willie, do you?"
I'm gonna have you as you
Willie, right?
yeah, as you do this, I'm gonna have you make a wisdom skill check for me.
Just randomly go up to someone's table and just knock over and then just walk away like this.
9.
9. You make your way over to Willie and you're just like, and you smell, and there is just something that is just rancid. You look around, you take a look to your left, and there's just a dude who's just like drinking his drink, and then you look to your right, and you see, you hear, "Oh, yippee-ki-yay!" and like just like. I kind of like picture like the dude from Gravity Falls, like
Yeah.
yeah, but less like that. He's not quite that crazy,
Like
but
the prospector guy.
yeah, kind of.
I regret that hire already.
But you smell it every time he does this and he lifts his armpit, just this like a waft of smell comes up and just tingles your nose. You're just like,
It's good.
okay,
The force of the
continue.
day.
Woo!
Oh,
I love it.
I'm used to some stinky places. This is bad. This is bad.
Old man McGucket.
Yeah, there you go.
Ooh.
Classic.
Okay.
That's nice. Wow. Woo. Oh boy.
What can I do
hey,
for you?
Willie,
Yes.
do you know anyone who's like type A, likes things like in order all the time, is good at managing other people? You know, something like that?
Well, it sounds like you're looking for a quartermaster.
Yes. Maybe someone on staff you can get a recommendation. Someone who like is antsy to see the world, you know.
I've got a
Someone who,
couple
they
of people.
deserve something better.
I've got a couple people on mind, but perhaps a little motivation would help me to think a little bit harder.
Maybe you should
Punch
give him
him.
some booty. Looks
I
like
put down 1 ES. Is this what you're looking for?
He takes a look at it, he's like, Gonna have to try a little harder than that, my friend.
2 ES.
Mm. We're making steps in the right direction, and he pushes it back towards you.
So you want money? Okay. Let's see what I got. How would sorry, I lost where my money is in this new spreadsheet.
It's like, so if you look at the...
Items?
So if you look at the ammunition charges, which is like smack dab right in the middle, it's directly to the right under Adventurer's Pouch.
Ah, there it is. Okay. How about 1 EC? Wait, is EP better than EC?
Yes, yeah. So it's Evershill, Evercoin, and Everpeace.
Oh, I thought we were paying these people like a crap ton. I thought EC was the highest. Well, I don't feel as bad paying them an EC a day, 2 EC a day. How about this? And I give him 1 EC.
Now we're talking. He kind of slides it over. Yes, I do have someone that might be a good fit for you. Bree! And it kind of like gestures over from one of the tables, and this woman actually stands up. She looks a little kind of hardened, but pretty young, probably in her late 20s. And she comes over, and she's kind of wearing like very much like sailor's garb, not super ladylike dressed. And she comes over and says, "Hey, Willie, what can I do for you?" "These lot here are looking for a quartermaster for hire. It seems like they've hired quite the rowdy bunch. But I know you."
Everyone I've hired is great. So
Us too. Willie's gonna do a great job. He's unique, of course, but he's better than Dave.
Oh, man. Yeah. Wait, what was his name? Billy?
Barnacle Bill.
Barnacle Bill. Barnacle Bill. That's nice. Oh, man.
Well, you see, if you're looking for a quartermaster, I don't come cheap, but I do my job very, very well. And I take it very seriously. I might not be as seasoned as some of these others, but I will make sure if you hire me, you get your goods, and that you're well stocked for whatever length of journey you're going to be on.
If
What
you're
if
not
you-
seasoned, why are you going to be more expensive?
Because I do my job better than the more seasoned ones.
Oh, snap! Girl power!
How tall is she, by the way? Bree?
She's probably about like 5'4".
Wow.
She's taller than
Look,
the...
Molly had just booped her thigh.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a human.
Nice.
How do you feel about elves?
Yeah.
They're fine. They do their jobs correctly.
Tell me, what would you change about how this place is being run?
Well, first and foremost, I would talk to Mr. Willie here. I'm sorry, Master Willie. About keeping track of the stocks that he has and actually knowing what he has to sell. First and foremost. 2, I would pay your chefs a little bit more. 3, this place is far above fire capacity. This is not safe.
You know, fire code. Very nice. What
Do we
about the
have to worry about
cleanliness?
fire code on the water? We're in the water?
Yeah, that's a good call.
If this ship catches fire while we're at sea, all of us will be drowned people. Yes, there might be water around us, but we will have no ship to be on, so everything must be ship shape. And if my eyes didn't deceive me, I heard clattering up above. I would make sure that those people that are causing such messes pay for the things that they've done. And she just kind of like,
Oh, yeah, I like it. You're very straightforward. You have a job. How does 1.5 EC
Don't
a day
insult me.
sound?
don't insult me.
Okay, you are worth so much more than that.
1.7.
I'm feeling insulted.
3 EC?
There we go. I like that.
Okay, yeah. 3 EC a day.
Balvin needs to be in this conversation negotiating with his nat 16.
No, the Barnacle Bill's entertaining the two of you.
Funk and all. Funk and all.
But here's the thing. You also get room and board. So I think that 30 EC is really going towards all of that. So you really will be making that much in room and board plus what you're getting paid. So 2 EC.
3 EC. I'm not gonna go any less. You can hire someone else here, but you can get less quality. I will make sure that anytime that we're at sea and anyone takes more than their fair share, there will be consequences to pay.
What if I
Yeah,
asked
Balvin.
nicely, please?
Are you that poor that you can't afford to pay me 1 extra EC per day during this adventure? Or are you planning on keeping me for years and years at a time? At which point, I'm going to be a wealthy woman by the end of it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. One of those. Fine, 3 EC a day. You drive a hard bargain.
I do, and you've got yourself a deal and a very, very hardy quartermaster. And she goes and she actually pulls out of, like, basically like her sailor's garb, like this whip that she has.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I'm going to be putting Martha to good use.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe we need to reconsider this hire.
Balvin's gonna
Oh,
love
no. You
My
must
kind of girl.
understand. This is for people like that.
Yeah,
And
so that-
and for any baddies that we come across too.
Oh.
How does that
If
sound?
we're being attacked, you can use it for self-defense, but you can't use it to make people work harder.
Maybe
That's
she
not
did.
okay.
We're paying her as much as we're paying our first mate, like our captain.
Every person you hit with that whip on our crew, you are being docked 1 EC per day.
So you're telling me if I whip
Unless it's
3 if I whip 3 people, I'm not getting paid anymore.
Yes.
For that day,
That
yes.
is what I'm saying. Yes. So put Martha away until the pirates come.
Fine. Martha, you'll have your shot. She just puts her whip back on her
I
belt.
like her.
Wow.
She's great. She means
Okay.
business.
You would really get along with Belvin. All right. First task
Or not.
for
I
you
don't know. She's gonna keep him in shape, in
is
line.
coordinating. Everyone getting together. Here is the list of our. We'll give you a list of our hires, and getting them all together so that we are ready to set sail at 8 a.m. sharp.
Tomorrow.
0800. Yep.
Soon.
Soon. We'll meet tomorrow, and I'll let you know when we're planning on setting sail.
So when does our contract start? Does our contract start now, or does our contract start when we get on that boat? Because every day that I wait is a day that I'm not getting paid.
That is true. It'll be soon. Don't you worry.
Okay.
We'll give you 1 EC now, and then 2 tomorrow for the first day's pay. We'll pay you 3 EC right now. Here you go, lady.
No. My business is on the boat. However, don't keep me waiting.
Okay. Sounds
You
good.
are best.
And then she begins talking. It's like, I see you have companions here. They're the ones that have been making quite a ruckus here. So, what size is your ship? What size is your crew? And she starts like asking you all of these questions about basically doing her job.
Sweet. Here you go.
You respond.
12 people.
So I think it's more than 12 people, but
Is it?
I think so.
Lord, if we get
14.
into
14
a scrap, I am for sure choosing Barnacle Bill to be on my side. He's the wild
man.
card in this all. He's just.
Oh, I'm pretty good with the club.
I bet you are.
He's just like, hey, watch this, and he pulls out like a knife and he puts it like in his teeth, and he's just like, I've learned to climb with knives in my teeth. I've slipped once or twice, but it's no big deal.
He can still breathe with that hole though that whistles through, so it's all good.
Wait, who was the lookout that we hired? I think I missed writing them down.
So her name was
Sariel.
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 So our bosun, our Sariel, and
How much
who
are we
else?
paying her?
You're
Sariel
paying
is
her one, yeah. Oh man, these personalities are gonna be interesting together. Okay, we gotta learn to get along with all peoples, I guess.
All right. I think the next order of business is we decide who's captain.
Yeah, we have some other rules that we need to decide, don't we? Quickly. Well, I like being an officer, honestly. Yuki's fine with that. She liked that.
I'm
She had
fine
a
with
good
being the
time with it.
bosun.
It's good.
I was good with an officer too.
I was gonna say either Belvin or Thordane.
For captain.
Yeah.
So the thing is, so if we're looking at the actual rules themselves,
Yeah.
it looks like the more combat-y role is officer, for sure. And
The more movement during the phase is going to be
the captain.
the captain.
Yeah.
And they have like kind of special buffs that affect kind of everybody. But definitely I would say the more like in your face combat-y roles are going to be officers, because they're the ones that are going to be taking like raiding
Alright,
other ships
Let's
and
get
that
it,
kind of stuff.
Belvin. Hey, I like the crew though. We're gonna have freaking what's his name, Balthazar and Finn fighting by our sides. Oh, can't forget, of course. Can't forget what's his name.
Bill!
Yeah, Bill.
And, and Tully.
Tully, yeah, Tully too.
Tully.
Oh, dear Lord, Tully. No, he's
Tully's
gonna
getting
be-
shafted. He's getting paid 1 EC to keep the boat floating. Meanwhile,
But he's fine because he likes the solitude.
meanwhile the
Finally-
rigger's getting paid more.
The crazy old man climbing like a spider in the rafters.
Oh man.
Oh Lord. Okay. It's fine though. It's fine.
It's fine.
So-
Yeah, he'll be in the bows of the ship and never find out what everyone else is making. So that'll be
I mean, what roles is the captain making again, or not? They don't make roles.
They do during well, they don't really make rolls during combat. They just basically do the direction of the ship. And then they have a couple of things that they can do during the actual combat.
You know,
So-
I think Thordane would be good with it, so him and Sariel could have a sweet romance.
Sweet.
He can be driving the ship as the captain, and then Sariel
Caught
can be
in
looking
a
down.
bad romance.
Yeah, looking down on him with her telescope, and then they'll make eye contact, and then they'll blush and look away from each other. And
Oh,
Thoriel
man.
will call out, Sariel, what do you see out there? And Sariel's like, I'm sorry, I wasn't looking out there, I was looking at something else. And Thoriel was like,
Oh, my
oh yes,
God.
I understand that. A lady of science, I like that.
Sounds like the Romeo and Juliet there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's a sweet fanfic that's gonna happen. It's great.
Oh no.
Great. That's your
Hey.
next prompt, Max.
No, no.
It's okay. Spider and
I don't want it.
That's fine.
And so with that, Eclaas Eeas, you spend the rest of the day figuring everything out that you need, getting all together. You go and you speak with Malaysiarch, and you're actually able to strike a deal where she is going to pay for all of the cargo that you are going to be needing for your first journey. In exchange for the 2 ships, and additionally, she will provide you with any more ship hands that you do need. If you do so desire it, and she will pay for up to 7 days of their travel.
Good deal.
I think Buffalo Bill deal. I think
It's
Barnacle
puts the
Bill-
lotion in the basket.
I think Barnacle Bill needs some underlings underneath him to give orders.
Oh, I teach you how to go rigging. Yippee-ki-yay!
It's kind of important, right? We need
Yeah, you
more
can't
riggers.
just have one old man doing unfurling the sails.
Nah, it's fine.
Unfurl the sails. You got it, Captain.
I know it's a small boat, but man.
Yeah, it has 2 masts, so you have to like jump from mast to mast.
I don't know how many.
And he's in charge of tying everybody's like lifelines and like all that kind of stuff.
Oh, do we trust him with our lives? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's better than Dave, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
Can we
so-
hire a cyborg cook?
No, we already have the gnome cook, right?
Yeah, we got another one.
She'll be good. She'll be good. She seems nice.
What about can we hire a spider rigger?
I mean, we already have a spider rigger.
Yeah, actually, I will tell you this. So the description of Barnacle Bill. He's a human sailor who is an expert in rigging and repairs. He's always apt to teaching others the ways of the sailor's knot, and his advanced years do not hamper his incredible spider-like movements on the ship's mast. Bill is also a talented musician and can boost the crew's morale with his lively sea shanties.
Let's
guy.
go! Oh my gosh, so he's not just completely crazy. No.
I still regret him as a hire. He's gonna be so annoying.
Oh yeah.
There once was a man who
What are we
went to
trying?
sea, and the name of the ship was the Million-T.
What was the medic's name? I forgot. I lost her name. Sorry.
The
I was
medic's name
battling
is
a brown
Lyra.
dragon.
Lyra.
Okay.
Lyra.
And the Buffalo Bill.
No, the Barnacle Bill.
Call him Buffalo.
I'm Barnacle Bill.
What's the Buffalo? I don't know. Who was the last person? Bree, right?
Yes, Bree.
Like the cheese.
So Riona, Tolly, Remy, Balthazar, Finn, Sariel, Lyra, Buffalo Bill, Bree. Sorry, Barnacle Bill.
Yeah.
It's a good crew.
It's a pretty
Good crew.
I'm gonna forget all their names. It's fine.
Part of the crew,
Yeah,
part of the
write it
ship.
down.
Yep.
Yeah,
We
right.
paid
No,
our
so-
people way
Barnacle
more
for
than
sure.
you guys.
Hmm?
We paid our people way more than
I
you
know.
guys.
Belvin should have been over there haggling those prices. Dear
I
Lord.
know.
It's fine.
tried.
It's all good.
3,
He's,
4,
he's
So-
not even charismatic. It's crazy.
16 and a half EC a day.
Charisma, right, Connor, is your lowest stat, right?
Yeah, I think so. Let me check real quick. I think charisma might.
It's like
Yeah, it is my lowest stat.
him
Oh,
and
man.
Thordane are just like 6. 6 charisma.
Yeah.
Alright, anyways.
So as you get all of your crew together and basically everything is paid for, 2 days pass before you're able to collect all of the stuff that you need, and you get your ship together as you are about ready to set sail. And in the meantime, before you depart, Gunter does come to you and he takes one look over your crew and says, "This is a good crew. I've seen a few of these people at work, and I'm quite impressed with those that you were able to gather here." And all of them just like a few of them know exactly who Gunter is and are just like looking like, "Oh my gosh, like Gunter is here." And he actually hands over to Thordane. As your first embarkation of Alomnia's Breath, I have taken the opportunity to make this for you with my crew, and it is the crest of Eclaas Eeas. It is a flag that is going to be hung from your rafters.
That's fantastic.
That's
I'll put this in front of
awesome.
Belvin because you can't see him. So, Eclaas Eeas. And he goes ahead and he explains kind of some of the symbols for this. So you have the swords for your combat and your fight against evil. You have the crown for the fight for the king, the true king, Alamnia. You have kind of the laurels here to represent prosperity and growth and continued health. And you have the wings here for not only a swift departure, but for the Serac to carry you to where you need to be. So, Eclaas Eeas.
That's so
Lovely.
sick. All right, so thank you for the merch. I appreciate it.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Indeed,
You have to give
indeed.
that to me.
Eclaas Eeas, yes.
It's Eclaas merch.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, with that, you guys line up your crew. You were able to get a number of other sailors that you have with, but the main parts of your crew, you line them up. First, you have Riona. She kind of stands there, kind of like eager, excited to go forward. And next, you have Toli. Toli is the engineer. He stands there kind of like socially awkward, just like ready to go. Remy, she's there, the shortest of the entire crew, and she looks as like, oh, I hope you all enjoy my food. I have quite a lot of experience. Hopefully it's to your liking. And then Balthazar, who stands kind of ahead in front, and he gives kind of like a little bit of word of encouragement. Aye, brothers and sisters out on the sea, we shall lead Alamnia's breath into the depths, into the jaws of evil. And we shall come out with victory, and perhaps a new ship, and the control of the seas. Ha ha ha! And he goes, raises his saber to the skies. And then you have Finn, who doesn't say much and just kind of like laughs. I will do what I can to protect you with my life. And then you have Sariel, who just kind of stands there and like looks with kind of like
Thornane, right?
Go ahead with Thordane and have him make a charisma survival check.
Oh my gosh. He's not charismatic though. That's not bad. It's an 11 for him.
She gazes kind of like side-eyed at Thordane, lingers there for a minute, and then eyes down kind of to the floor. And then Lyra, she stands there kind of proudly, kind of like stern, and she like is just like all smiles, very happy to be there. Barnacle Bill, he's just like this. I'm ready to start sailing. And then you have Bree, who actually is there with kind of like a clipboard and all of her stuff, and she's going over like everything that like basically the crates and boxes, and it's just like and she turns to Thordane and is just like, it looks like everybody's accounted for, and everything, food, supplies, ammunition, everything that we need for our adventure. And I do say that this will take, if we're going to, where are we going to? And with that, I'm going to ask you, are you going to be going to Folden Rock first, or are you going to be going to Feshen Fae?
That's a good question. They didn't tell us specifically where we need to go first. It's our decision.
Wait, are we done with the archipelago?
No, this is still on.
We're just starting, my friend.
I know, I thought Feshenfei was on the mainland.
It technically is, but it's connected. It's like a beachside. So The archipelago, most of it is like down in the like southern part of it, but there's a bunch of islands that go all the way up. At the very kind of all the way up the inland strait, you have Fulton Rock, which is actually a man-made island in the center. And it's kind of just like this kind of big industrial city. And directly to the east of that, like northeast, is going to be the city of Feshenfei.
Well, maybe
Well,
if,
isn't Golden Rock like on the way?
yeah, it's kind of what I was thinking. So, what do you think, Zoe? Do you want to see the elves?
I really do.
You want to see the
I've never
elves?
seen elves before.
We can hit it on the way back because we have to come back to like get the pillars and stuff, right?
True. That is very true. Either way, I'm kind of, you know what? Kind of want to see the fashion fair. I think they sound interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do that.
What about you, Belbin? What do you want to see? If you're there.
Whatever one's closer, I think. We don't know how this.
So
crew's gonna be
Fulton
going.
Rock is going to be closer
My
by 2
Fulton
days.
Rock. I guess it might not make that much of a difference.
Okay. So we'll do maybe we'll do fashion fair.
Let's do fashion fan.
Thordain as captain's like, oh yes, I want to visit my cousins and study the science of fashion fair. So fashion fair we go.
And Bree, she marks, well, I'm going to have to get a couple more crates if we're going to do this, if we're going to make a round trip. Do we plan on making any stop-bys to restock on anything? That she's like being really meticulous. She's like, okay, we have all the funds in place. We have all the food. We have all the ammunition. Give me 2 more hours and I can get a couple more crates of this. And then she like goes more and like she's doing her job like to a T.
That was the best fire.
And then she says, 2 hours later, everybody's already kind of on board, and everyone starts kind of loading the cargo. And so the ship itself, it has a cargo bay, which is down below, which there are actually a number of hammocks that are down there for general crew. The second level is going to be the level like below ship. There are actually 4 rooms, so 4 cabins on this one, where they're just kind of individual cabins. And then additionally, there is a kitchen equipped to this and kind of a little bit of empty storage space. And then you have the main deck, to which rising up above is a captain's quarters. And the captain's quarters have room for 2 people, like 2 separate rooms, and then a kind of like a meeting room. And then there's like the top deck, which is where the wheel and everything is. And so that's kind of how everything is generally set up. The one thing is deciding your guys' rooms and where you're staying. Balthazar, he approaches the lot of you and says, Here as first mate and as a captain, I am used to the finer things. If I could have my own private room, I'd be much, much grateful for that.
Thordain pipes up. He's like, well, as captain, yes, I want you right next to me. You're in the captain's quarters with me.
Perfect. So Thordain and Balthazar will be in the kind of like the deck captain's quarter. Down below, as far as the 4 rooms are concerned, I'm assuming Gazil, Yuki, and Luxalia and Belbin each get your own room. And then down below deck is where the rest of the crew is going to be sleeping.
Well, how many people could fit in each room?
They're pretty small. They're like single person, like cots, like rooms.
Alright. Sounds good. It's not
However, the one thing to make certain of is your ship, I think, can have 3 upgrades. And so one of them can be more private rooms. That's one upgrade that you can have. Which can allow you to transport people if you wish to do so, make a little bit of extra money, that kind of stuff. And that could be one of your upgrades. So there's that. Cool. And with that, we're going to bring this session to a close as Eeas sets sail on Alomnia's breath.
Woo!
pumped.
Away we go, away we go.
So the next session that we're going to have, thanks for all those who stuck with us for as long as you did. Our next session is going to be April 29th. So same time, April 29th. We're really looking forward to it. It's gonna be a party. As Eclaas finally leaves Aishan Island. Finally, they were there for like a year. But yeah, going to progress going all the way to Fesh and Fey in the far north of the Inland Strait.
Let's go.
It'll be great. So we'll see if they're able to survive their journey. And with a very well put together crew and selected crew, I'm actually really impressed. So I got just kind of a little bit behind the scenes to talk about before we do let everybody go. Based on like some checks that they were making, there were 3 types of sailors that they could have potentially come in contact with and hired. So there were the veteran sailors, there were the what are they called? The veteran sailors, the seasoned sailors, and the novice sailors. And so of them, I think they got. So let's see, Captain Balthazar, he was a veteran sailor. Barnacle Bill is a veteran sailor.
Oh, let's go! We got the best.
Yeah, Barnacle Bill.
Atta
Actually,
Dave.
Dave was the novice sailor.
Oh
Yeah.
God, freaking Dave.
Finn, the bosun, he was the veteran sailor. Tolly was the seasoned sailor. So he's the engineer. Lyra, the medic, she was a veteran sailor. Your lookout, Sariel, she was a novice sailor, so she hasn't really done much of that. Let's see. Remy was is a seasoned sailor. And Bree is a seasoned sailor.
Okay, what about Riona?
I missed her. So she was your navigator.
There was
Rio-
a quartermaster more expensive than Bree?
Mm.
Oh my god.
Well, not necessarily more expensive, just more veteran. She mentioned that she might not be the most a veteran sailor, but she does her job better than anyone. And then Riona was a seasoned sailor.
We did pretty good.
Did really good. That's pretty good.
And honestly,
What, 2 novices?
One novice.
One novice, and the one novice that we got is going to be Thordain's girlfriend, so it's fine.
Oh god.
Good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Who would have ever thought?
They're
that
like
Thordain
Thordain's
was
got
gonna
the
have-
helm of the ship at night, and everyone's asleep with what's her bucket? Sariel up in the rafters, and then all of a sudden, Michael Scott puts a boom box, and it's just like and the exchange, or shalalala my oh my, look like the boy to shine. See these seagulls flying over. That's nice. Okay, sorry. But we have finished our session for tonight. Does anyone have anything to say, anything to add before we get into some final announcements?
No. Anyone else?
Thanks for a fun stream, guys.
Yes, lots of role play. So thanks for sticking with. I had a great time. I'm not gonna lie, that was very very entertaining. It'll be interesting keeping all of these personalities in check, but it'll be great.
It'll be good. We'll get to know him well, I think.
Yes.
Be good.
Perfect.
So before we get into anything, I just want to go over a couple scheduling things ahead of time. As Kyle mentioned, start the last weekend of April, which is what's the date on that again, Kyle?
The 29th.
29th. We will be having session 21 of Everlast, so join us then. It should be a grand old time. And as far as this past week, thank you all for joining us this past week. I know it was kind of crazy for some of us, but we had a bunch of really fun, successful streams, including some tabletop RPGs, some Pokemon Bravely Default, even some Cuphead.
And Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild 2, yes. Unfortunately, I was unable to stream on Thursday. However, things should lighten up a little bit for me with work-related stuff this week. I had to work today on Saturday, which sucked. But it should lighten up for me a little bit starting next week. So I should be back to Tuesday, Thursday, and I guess technically Wednesday for Adventures Middle-earth. But no Everlast next week. However, we do have on Monday movie night. That's night, and then in the morning, Bravely Default 2 Tuesday at 7 p.m. Japan Standard Time. Some more Breath of the Wild. Wednesday in the morning, Kyle will be doing Pokemon Scarlet at 7 a.m.
Yeah, we're in the middle actually of fighting the Elite Four. So
Let's go.
yeah, it's good.
Who's your
I
team
beat
right
beat
now?
up the child, and then I beat up the businessman who's a gym leader and a Elite Four member, which is weird, but
That was very weird.
yeah, super
It's
strange.
because he is overworked.
And he talks like this. That's how I'm playing him. That's
Kyle,
how I'm voicing him.
Do you have Mega Man in your team?
No, I don't have Mega Man in my team. My team actually right now, so it's Meowscarada. Actually, my very first one I chose Fuecoco. So Skeledirge was technically my first one, but this file that I'm playing is Meowscarada. Lucario, which I'm naming my Pokemon after viewers' favorite Pokemon, but only one person told me what their favorite Pokemon was that I had. So Meowscarada, and then I have Loggers, that's one of the people that joined their Lucario. I have Lycanroc Midnight Form. I have Sylveon. Actually, Max was there when I caught Sylveon. Or Evolved? What Evolved? I think it was Evolve. And then let's see, my third one. Oh, the freaking mouse. The electric one. What's its name? The one that has like the hair.
Dedenne?
No, the one that has the hair, the new one.
The new one.
Oh, yeah, the like bear.
Pomo.
Mouse.
Pomo.
Yeah.
I still haven't evolved it to the final evolution because I just found out how to do it. So I've been having like the first evolution the entire game. So that's fun. And then Clodsire.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good team. It's a party.
All right.
And then Adventures of Middle Earth.
That evening. So we'll be in session 10, right? Session 10?
Yes, session 10.
Session 10, yeah, it's moving at a quick pace every week. And then Thursday, some more Breath of the Wild, and then that should be it for that weekend. So
I'm starting to stream on the off Fridays.
Oh, will you? Did you?
Yeah.
Oh man, starting when?
Next week. So next week instead of
next
Cuphead,
Friday.
What are you playing?
Hey, yeah.
the Coal Forge will be playing Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity.
Yo, let's go. That's gonna pair well with Breath of the Wild.
That's
doing
what
right
I
now.
was hoping. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I'm gonna be doing some
Quality
Tears of the Kingdom when
game.
it comes out.
Oh yeah.
Lots of Tears of the
So,
Kingdom. It's gonna be good.
yeah.
Also, I do recommend. We got a big Fire Emblem audience here at Fantasy Forge Studios. So if
Maybe
you like
I'll
Fire-
hit that up next after this playthrough. We'll see.
Sounds
Yeah.
good. But awesome. Well, great. Next Friday we'll be doing that, and then
Think of a name for your show.
The Coal
Mine's
Forge.
boring. Mine's Kyle Plays RPGs.
Wow.
It's
Yeah,
quality.
it'll be the Coal Forge because
Okay.
it's Coal Forged Great Axe, and then
Yeah.
the Coal Forge is just
I like it.
solo.
I like it. Well, nice. Sounds awesome. Cool. Well, hey, I'll get to you about details about that so I can put it in the schedule and stuff.
Brilliant.
Sounds good. But awesome, great. So I'll be starting next Friday. Great, awesome. And then, anything else? I don't know. It's late for me. I've had a long day. Kyle, any other announcements?
We have a sponsor, and our sponsor is named by the name of DaiSNACKi. They're a Japanese sweets company, and they sell Japanese sweets and luxury treats. And currently, they're in their final days of their Sakura box, their spring box, which ends on May 1st. So get your box. It's amazing. They come with really luxurious things from like Sakura, like themed stuff, mochi, all that, like really traditional Japanese. So really cool flavors and good stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be a party. Make sure you order from them, but when you do, tell them that or say that we sent you. Because if you do so and you spend anywhere between $50 to $99 on your order, you will get a $5 off for Fantasy Forge, your next box order. And then if you order $100 or more, not only will you get $5 off your next order, but you will also get $10 off your next order of $100 or more. And so you can get some really sweet discounts from that, and it does help us out and a family-run company in Tokyo, Japan. So really good, delicious snacks. I received my snack box, oh boy, a couple months ago. And I'm gonna tell you, some of the treats that like I've had, like my wife and I have shared, like I mean, I'm sure she's had all of them, but like for me, like so many new things, and they are freaking delicious. So don't miss your chance, and especially with the Sakura box, like Japan is known for their springtime snacks, and so don't miss out on that, as it only
ends
does run
soon.
through May 1st.
Yeah, it ends soon. Only 2 weeks left, or
2 weeks.
1.5 weeks left on that. So if you want a Sakura box, feel free to go get one of those. And guys, don't forget free shipping worldwide, which again can't be understated considering it's really expensive in general just to ship anything out of Japan. Especially for the American audience, it's really expensive to ship things from Japan to America for some reason. So the fact that they offer free shipping, I don't know how they do it, but they do. So take advantage of these offers. And again, don't forget to mention Forge sent you in order for those promotions to apply.
And additionally, if you want to do so, every time we hit a milestone in the amount of references that we have, referrals that from us, they're going to actually give away a free omakase box, so the random assortment box, to a random streamer, and we'll set up a basically a stream for that, where if you did purchase, you get tickets. Basically, it's like a raffle towards that box. And then also, if you are a subscriber, you get tickets. And then if you are a follower, if you tune in during the stream and basically check in, you get your raffle ticket. So the entire community has the opportunity to get a delicious omakase box from DaiSNACKi.
Yep, so it's good stuff. So I don't think there's anything else. Oh yeah, okay, of course. How could we forget? We do also have a Patreon for Everlast. So do you want to talk about that a little bit, Kyle?
Yes, so actually one thing that's really cool about this Patreon is now that we're running Adventures of Middle-earth, it works on Adventures of Middle-earth too. So really good. Essentially what it is at the $5 level, if you do support, you get one, basically you're an inspirer of hope, which you intercede on fate, and in any one of these streams, one time per month, you can grant anybody in Eclaas Eeas hope on any roll, a blessing per se, and then in Adventures of Middle-earth, you can grant one of the players there a basically a inspiration, and so for them to be able to use for rerolls and to be able to help them survive. It's a really cool and nice thing to be able to do to contribute. Just make sure to remember to use them, because I'm sure they would have really enjoyed it. Although there is still one more for the month, so make sure you do that. And then for the $10 level, not only do you get two of those per month, but you also get map packs from basically all of the battle maps that are used here, actually battle maps that are used in Adventures in Middle-earth that are all completely made by me to be able to use in your own adventures, whatever you're doing. And then
Nat 16.
That requires a dance. Oh yeah.
A dance.
Oh yeah. Okay. So yes, and then the final tier is the $20, which gives you two of those. You get the access to the map packs, and additionally, you gain the ability to watch the behind the scenes, the pre-events of, well, not watch, but listen, the audio files of Everlast when it was a D&D campaign way back in the day, years ago. So lots of stuff to enjoy, and hours upon hours of additional entertainment. So you get those access to those for each of your subscription levels. So it does help. All of it goes into the game and helping it like pay for art and that kind of stuff that I need in order to, help bring this game to the public and whatnot. So yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you over there. Don't forget to also, if you can, subscribe to the channel. It does help as well too.
Also, feel free. We do have links in the About section below. We do have a Everlast Instagram account. So if you want to see all the artworks and nifty little things that are going into it, as well as just maybe some background about Everlast as well, feel free to follow that Instagram account. And then we also do have a Fantasy Forge TCG Instagram account, which I'll be starting to post on soon. It's been kind of hectic for me with my day job, teaching job recently, so I haven't been able to post content for that. But we're currently opening Fire Emblem Zero Cipher cards, it was a Japanese set or sets that came out exclusively in Japan for like a small time period here in Japan, and they're really cool. The arts are amazing, and we're opening those. So feel free to give each of those a follow as well if you want some extra short form content. So
I love it.
I think. Yep.
Cool.
Great.
you guys all have an amazing rest of your next couple of weeks. Hopefully I'll see you on Monday, if not Tuesday, if not Wednesday, if not Thursday, if not Friday. We got all kinds of stuff going for you. So stay tuned with Fantasy Forge Studios, and we will see you for the Adventures of Eclaas on the 29th of the end of this month. And may Alomnia guide you. Bye, everybody.
Make good
Bye.
choices.